Yeah, Prophet Marshall Currents back up in this. Okay, so this video is going to be about Iran. Iran is not a war, it's a mindset. Iran is not a war, it's a mindset. See, Americans don't know that, basically, you ain't gonna beat Iran just going over there and doing all this stuff that you're doing to them. As long as they got citizens, as long as they got Iranians in the world, as long as it's Iranians in the world, hear what I said? In the world. It's more Iranians around the world than just in Iran. As long as they're in the world, it's going to be a problem for America. See, anybody that's my age and older already know how the Middle East get down. The Middle East will hold grudges forever. They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop and just stop with a war and then it's over. Anybody my age and older already know better than that. It's not going to stop. So they can finish up the war. They say they're going to finish up in a couple weeks or whatever. You're still going to have problems. You're still going to have problems. And it's going to work to our advantage. It's going to work to our advantage. This is all going to work to our advantage. Because for all the people that played in our face, for all the people that played with us for no reason, this is and people who play with us and they couldn't prove anything. It's all about what you can prove. If you can't prove anything, you lose in the world we live in. I don't know what galaxy you come from. I don't know what galaxy you come from, buddy. What galaxy you come from? Galaxy X. Galaxy X. You come from Galaxy X, don't you? Galaxy X. Well, we're going to say they come from Galaxy X. Well, here in this galaxy, if you don't have any charges or anything, or any evidence of anything, it's a war. That's what happens. You become the problem. Because when people find that you cause all these problems, but you couldn't deliver the goods, it's over. None of that stuff matters. See, I define what comes out of my mind. You don't define what comes out of my mind. See, that's how you beat these psychological people. You define what comes out of your mind, not them. They can't tell you what that means. You the one thinking the thoughts, so you decide what that means. That's how you do it. Okay? Otherwise, you letting people play with you like they know what you thinking. You know what I'm thinking? If you knew what I was thinking, buddy, you wouldn't be playing in my face. I promise you wouldn't be. Listen, man. Listen. The only reason we ain't doing nothing to these people because we got bigger fish to fry, man. That's the truth. The reason why nothing's being done to you or you're not being confronted is because I got bigger fish to fry. I got other stuff I gotta do. If I was at a dead end and I ain't had nothing to do and I was a loser and I was at a dead end, I would have probably done something to you. If I ain't had nowhere to go, I was a loser and I just didn't see nothing in front of me, I ain't had nothing to do. But I do have something to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I ain't reached out and touched you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? I live for God. I live for God, and that's the reason why nobody else has been touched. That's the reason why, man. That's the real reason why. I lift 200 pounds I used to lift 200 pounds in the gym, bro. I'm not a weak man. Whatever make you think I'm a weak man, buddy, you need to take another look. I'm a strong man, buddy. I'm a very strong man. Just remember that. I used to lift 200 pounds in the gym. So if you're one of them little feisty little people that think you can beat everybody, listen. I'm built to last. I got chin too, buddy. I can take a punch. I can take a punch on top of that. Okay, buddy? Oh, it's one thing to say I can fight, but can you take a punch? I can take a punch. Can you take a punch? I'm just saying, listen, man, I'm a soldier, man. Listen. I'm a man of God and I'm a soldier, man. For anybody that don't understand, the context of this page is we are real soldiers over here. We are in real war over here. And maybe you'll be like this in maybe 2-3 more years, but because I'm a prophet, I'm already in it. I'm already in something that you might be in 2 or 3 years from now, where we have to deal with these punk witchcraft people, these punk witch warlocks and wannabe witches and all of this stuff, man. You know, and we holding our composure, you know what I'm saying? Because we got bigger fish to fry. We realize that basically it's America. Because I mean, you can't do nothing without America letting you do something. So I know they let you do it. I know they let you do all of this stuff. So then why care about them? You know what I'm saying? Why even pay them attention? I'm focused on America, and we doing very good. You know, Pam Bondi just got fired. See, that administration is falling down. And say what? And I say this humbly. I've been fasting against Pam Bondi for almost a year. I've been fasting against Kristi Noem for almost a year. Those two people are out. And I was fasting against each one of them. And I say this not just to brag or to toot my own horn. I'm showing you what type of soldier I am. I fast against prominent people that's in the White House and in the administrations of America. I don't deal with bums. I don't fight bums. And I think that's why I need to be said. You know, I pulled up work and I knew I was already fasting against Pam Bondi. But I couldn't find that one easy, and I couldn't find Kristi Noem. That's the one that was over the Homeland Security stuff. I knew I was fasting against her, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And it took me like I've been looking for this for like a couple weeks. And I finally found it like through all my papers. Like this is how much papers I've got. Basically, like I knew I had to keep looking through them, and I didn't stop because I knew, like, I never forget any of my fastings, right? So I knew, I was like, I know I couldn't find it. I said, I know I was fasting against this woman. I said, I know I did, and I found it, and she got fired. She I think she resigned or she got fired or something like that. But anybody that's leadership of that administration of this government, I fast against leadership. So I'm not focused on, don't flatter yourself. I'm not waking up and I'm not focused on no particular color of people. I'm not focused on no particular group of people. Those two things you need to understand. No group of people and no color of people. I don't care. Those are not the things I fight. I fight the structure of this country that went against me. That's what I fight. At this point. I don't have anything to prove to anybody else. They already know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not responding to the foolishness, you know. I'm the one supposed to keep my cool. See, I'm smart enough to know that. That's how you know I ain't crazy. Oh, a crazy person don't talk like that. I'm the one supposed to keep my cool. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm supposed to do, bro. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to keep my cool, keep my head down, and get my work done like I'm doing. I'm doing that. I'm doing that, though. I'm doing that. I just put more fastings that got out against some of Trump's top leadership. You know, I'm fasting there. You know, since I see some success there, you know, Pam Bondi, like I said, this month makes almost a year I was fasting against her. So it was like 11 months and some change. Almost, this month would have made a year. She didn't make it to a full year. And Kristi Noem, I was fasting against her too. And those two are out. This is what I'm trying to show you as far as my fasting. And those two type of people show you what I do. It's not about race or groups of people. I'm not stuck on that. Once I realized that America was the enemy, then I just went after the structure. And that's been effective for me. That approach has been effective for me. Once I knew they was the enemy, I mean, I just went after the whole thing. The whole UWAP, like I like to say. I went after the whole UWAP. Why go after groups or certain colors of people? That's kind of vague of a objective. That's kind of a vague objective. So I started to go after the structure. I started to go after the structure. So, you know, once I started going after the structure, I meet success. Because those people are not in the know of, or now in what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't even know who I am. Some of them do, some of them don't. So, you know, so we're focused on the structure. That's another good note to think about. We're focused on the structure. So I'm fasting against the structure and everything like that. You know, I'm standing on my own. I'm a one-man army. You know, God's people is with me. I thank you for all your prayers, all the people that support me. Like Coco Wilburn, thank you for your every. Don't ever think what you do is not acknowledged. That's why I take time on these videos. I almost was gonna do a whole video for you, but I'm deciding to acknowledge you in the videos that I'm making, which is even better. You know, so I do appreciate that support because it's going straight into ministry. It's going straight back into this spiritual war that we fighting and everything like that. And if you just give me like a couple dollars, I can take that to Mexico. I can take that to Japan and Vietnam, South America. I'm all around the world at this point. And I'm just about getting my job done every day. It's not enough money until the job is done. You know, I'm not money hungry. You know what I'm saying? But if we're using money, if we're taking money as a tool of spiritual warfare and using it as an offering before the Lord in the last days, we last day soldiers. We using the offering as spiritual warfare. Okay. So, you know, we're not religious. We're the spiritual people who they used to know. Now we somebody they used to know, right? But we the spiritual people they used to know, but we transform into the Megatron into the last days, and we became spiritual warriors, you know, fighting against those who want to fight the last battle, you know, and so that's where we at. We not laying down and dying for people's foolishness. We not laying down and dying about somebody else, you know. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a little more complicated than just rebuking spirits, and that's religious people. We got to go down into the structure. We got to go into the structure of the whole administration of America, the whole structure of this whole country. Okay, and that's how it falls. That's how it becomes a house of cards. You know, it becomes a house of cards when you start getting into the structure and affecting the structure. You know, and we ain't gonna stop. You know, I've been fasting against Trump for like going on 7 years. 6 years. I've been fasting against Trump for 6 years. He almost got deleted. What, in 2024? Okay, and if in some, you know, maybe if these same people wouldn't have been in my way, that something might have happened. You know, but that's like now they can't stand Trump. But see, I've been fasting against Trump for over 6 years. It's spiritual war. It's spirituality. It's nothing you can say. You can't get mad because of that. I mean, it's my point of view. It's my choice of spirituality. It's my option in spirituality, long as I'm not out here physically trying to do anything to any particular person, and I don't ever incite anybody to do anything physically. I don't incite anybody that follows me or that's listening to these videos, better to say, I don't tell you to go out and do something to one of these people. We have to handle it God's way. God's way is the best way. And I think we all can agree with that. Even our enemies will agree with that. God's way of doing things is the best way. They just don't realize they're in the bad situation with God. You know, they'll think they got God on their side too. But that's foolishness. You know, we know that's foolishness. God can't be on both sides, man. That's why you got to figure out who's right and who's wrong. Once you establish that, okay, then it's obvious. You know, God is on our side. These other people are wrong, and there's nothing else to talk about. See that? See that part? See how it's easy to figure out? See how easy that is? It's determined on who's right and who's wrong. And that's it. Now, all your emotions, all the feelings you feel, all the things you're thinking about, that's you. That's what you feel. That's how you feel. I personally am going by one thing. Who's right and who's wrong. That's it. That's what I'm going by. That's one situation. That's all I'm going by. That's all I'm going by. If you don't know why I'm on one every day, for me personally, it's because these people owe me money. They owe me money. Okay, yeah. I if you follow me all around the country and to California, to Florida, and to North Carolina, and to New York, back again, you owe me a bag, man. I'm sorry. So I'm not looking for the same outcome that you looking for. Maybe that I'll get to know somebody, or I get to know people, or I don't want to know nobody. I'm not trying to be a social person. You ever thought about that? I'm not trying to be. You ever thought that maybe I'm not trying to be social? Like, especially now with all that's going on. I'm not a social person right now. But that's kind of like how people are looking at it, how I'm supposed to be. You know, I don't want to know nobody right now. I'm not even trying to find a woman right now. Okay, so then imagine me trying to be social, but I don't want a woman. Make that make sense. Think about what I'm saying. If I don't want a companion right now, why would I want a friend? I mean, some people might, but I don't. I don't want a friend. I don't want a companion. I'm absolutely fine. I enjoy my own company. And I have a relationship with God. I truly do. I'm a soldier. I'm a real soldier. I've been esteemed as a soldier by military. It's one thing to steal valor, right? Stolen valor. You know, that's what they call it. It's one thing to steal valor, but it's another thing, and it's another thing to be a wannabe soldier. But it's another thing for military to call you a soldier. I never said I served in the military. No, I would never play myself like that. I would never be that kind of person. It's disgusting to me. But I've been esteemed as a soldier by the military. I've lived with military. That's what my enemies don't understand, and they need to understand very clearly. I'm not a man child. I'm not some little punk. I'm not a little boy. Okay? I've lived with real military that have served in real tours and killed real people. And that's what these white folks is not going to tell you in America. They not conscious of it. That when they see me, they not thinking of those things because they don't have to deal with me. If they had to deal with me physically, more physically, then their opinion of me will be more about those things, about who I interact with and those type of things, right? They don't care about those things because they don't have to interact with me. So, but they give you the same mentality, but you got to interact with me. See what I'm saying? So it's important information for you. They don't care. So they going to give you their perspective where they don't even have to interact with me. So I've lived with real military, people that really kill people in tours and kill people. And so for people that might kind of shoot that down, like I said, I've told people I didn't say I was military. I would never make that mistake. I would catch myself before I even said that. But I have lived with military. I done got respect from military. That's important for these civilians to understand, because once you get respect from military, that tells you a lot about the person. It tells you a lot. That you're above these everyday civilians. I've been like that for quite some time. Before the war even broke out, I got respect from military. Before the war even broke out. Right? That's all before the war broke out. And they tried me first. Okay, so then, I have to do what I have to do. And let me help you understand something. For hip hop people that try to read people on street levels, we first of all, we above street levels anyway. Which means I don't wear my war on my sleeve, which means you're not going to see who I truly am in all my full glory and splendor. Like street people might show you who they fully are. I don't have to do that because I'm a soldier, right? A soldier is not going to show you, you're not going to see who I fully am by trying to read me or anything, because I know how to shift dynamics of who I am to where you don't even get any of that vibe of what I'll do to you. You don't get any of it. You see, only smart people know what I'm talking about. You don't get any of the vibe because I don't carry that around. I'm a responsible armed man. I don't carry that around on my shoulders like street people do. They walk around like that because they have to. I don't have to walk around like that. So I only give it to you. You only get to see some of that if it calls for it, or if I'm addressing people, or if I'm addressing things with rules and regulations. But in my humdrum energy, that's not what I project as who I am to the forefront of who I am. To the forefront of who I am is a man of God, is a prophet of God. So if you're not smart, you're not going to know that I'm not trying to put that. I'm not channeling that energy at all times. I can shift to be that if I need to be. Like a grown man. A grown man ain't gonna come out here acting like a criminal. If he, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a family, you ain't gonna come out here like that. But if it calls for it, okay, then you're gonna shift modes and shift into different dynamics. That's how you are when you get older. Because the older you get, the more in depth of a person you are. So you're not gonna see me, if you read me like you read these suckers out here, or these one-dimensional people, then you're gonna be sadly mistaken. You're gonna sadly deceive yourself. I can switch on you very easy, bruh, and strike you like a snake. Very easy. Very, very easy. So so don't take my kindness for granted. If I ain't checked you, if I ain't stepped to you, don't take my kindness for granted, bruh. Because I set it up where I don't go to jail. That's how I set up my situation. I set it up where I hurt you and I don't go to jail for it. Okay, that's how I think. I'm not a ratchet person. I'm gonna set it up where I don't go to jail for it. I'm just letting you know. I'm not going to jail for it, buddy. See, now somebody else that's not even thinking about that, they gonna go to jail. I'm not. Because I'm conscious of not going to jail. You know what I'm saying? See, that's how you know I'm not lame, because I'm telling you I'm not going to jail. Lames don't talk like that. Lames talking about I'm ready to go to jail. Nah, I'm not. I'm not, buddy. I'm not ready to go to jail. Okay, so, that's the only thing that helped hold half of us real ones back, man. I'm not trying to go to jail. That's it. Other than that, man, we'll be like everybody else, man, pursuing every situation. I choose my battles wisely, man. I choose my battles very wisely these days, man. because I'm doing good. I'm putting pressure on these people. Everything. Let's talk about the pressure we putting on these people. I'm doing great. Pam Bondi just got fired. Wow. She was like a Trump loyalist, man. Now she's fired, and and it's just good. It's good. That's real good, because the more he mismatch, it's not gonna be what he initially started out with. It's not gonna work like he initially started out. It's not gonna work as you know, as a fine-tuned engine. He'll find that out. Because now you're starting to see some people coming out, some people coming in. It's more to that. That's what's going on now. Oh, you ain't seen the last of it. It's going to be more of it going on. It might happen twice in one position. He might put somebody else in there. He fired them too. So, you know, it's just saying that we smell, it's blood in the water. It's safe to say right now with America, it's blood in the water, bruh. All these people getting fired, this Iranian war. Don't let them people fool you by blowing up a bridge in Iran. Iran is an embodiment of a mentality. It's a Middle Eastern mentality, and it's not gonna go away. I'm surprised that these old people talking like they talking. These baby boomers and people that's older. You know, in the Middle East, how it is. It's not gonna get better. This ain't gonna get better. What's gonna happen is they gonna regroup, and I'm on Iran's side if you want to know, because I go with whoever is against America. because America's against me. So what you think I'm gonna do? Oh, try to figure out who I can get with here? No. I find more strength in going straight to people that's just not, who don't like this country. It's that simple. It's like the cliche says, your enemies are my friends. You know, basically, you know what I'm talking about. Your enemies are my friends. China, Russia, North Korea. You know, I think Russia is not what I thought it was. Militarily speaking, no. I even politically speaking, I don't think Russia is what I thought it was. This war brought it out. This war brought out who Russia really is. Russia is not like it used to be in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s, and the Russia that we knew. That's not what we dealing with no more. That's what we thought. Nah, it's not like that no more. They not quick to take care of their business like we thought, man. When I thought Russia and Ukraine was gonna go to war, I thought this was gonna be over. Overkill. Russia done lost all them soldiers out there, man, and it's just so easy to just go ahead and take care of this business. And then they halfway talking to Trump, and and the Americans help the Ukrainians. How you gonna talk to the Americans? They help the Ukrainians. I don't have no conversation for somebody to help my enemies. I have no conversation. None, no conversation. And that's not hard of a concept to understand by anybody's standard. I mean, if they applied weapons for Ukraine, how are you gonna turn around and talk to these people? Like in a way that like we're cordial, like we're almost cordial. No, we're not cordial. We're not in a cordial situation. You supplied weapons for my enemies, and those weapons killed soldiers in the Russian military. So how I'm gonna talk to you? See, I expect Russia to be like that. I expect Russia to move like that. Once they start helping Ukraine, that was it. They took McDonald's out of Russia and everything. Look at all the stuff they done. America took McDonald's out of Russia, and you still talking to them. Because I feel like the leadership likes Trump. And so we can't trust Russia right now long as Trump is in office. No, not totally. Not totally, because, they kind of like Trump. So, okay, so then, I don't totally trust him. That's just how it is. I trust North Korea more than I trust Russia right now. I trust China. I trust North Korea. I trust Iran, because they not going to try to be political. And that's the other part. Russia try to be political like America and move like with these politics and all of that stuff, man. And sometimes you just got to just do what makes sense. Just do what makes sense. And all the politics and all that political stuff, just do what makes sense. Not what makes political sense, if that makes sense. Not these political ideas and what is politically correct. Instead of doing what's PC and what's politically correct, do what your intuition telling you to do. That's because how I see it is, America is doing everything they want to do. Israel is doing everything they want to do. But Russia got to get it cleared with the UN, and they got to get it cleared. Every little move they make, they got to get it cleared with everybody. Look at how you're being treated. See, if it was me, as soon as this war popped off in Israel, in the Middle East, I would have, if I was, I got a war with the Ukraine as the Russians, I would have did whatever I wanted to do to the Ukrainians. Because Israel got to do whatever they wanted to do in Gaza, right? They got to do whatever they wanted to do in Gaza. Why can't you do whatever you want to do with the Ukrainians? The UN didn't stop it. They didn't stop. The bottom line is this. The UN did not stop Gaza until it was too late. The UN, the NATO, and whoever else, World Health Organization, WHO, none of these people did nothing. They did nothing. They did nothing about this stuff. They said Gaza they seen all this stuff going on in Gaza, right? They did nothing. So if you're Russia, why can't you handle your business the same way? Why can't you handle your business the same way that they did? Why can't you handle your business? And that's when I would have did it. I would have did it in the same time frame when Israel was attacking Gaza and doing whatever they want to do. UN wasn't doing nothing about it. NATO wasn't doing nothing about it. Nobody was doing nothing about it. And that's what you need to look at. All them kids were dying. UN still didn't do nothing. All the people was dying. All the infrastructure of Gaza was being destroyed. And nobody did nothing. That's what you got to look at. That's all you got to look at. That's all you got to look at. And so, with that being said, Russia, they could, I know I'm not this is not an original thought, right? I know this is not an original thought. I know it's not. So I know Russia thought about it too. But they did not step out and do what they needed to do against these people that's being armed by the Americans. They being armed by the Americans. Those two elements together, I would have took care of that. I would have took care of that. Those two things put together, I would have checked that for sure. Definitely. If it was within the time, Israel was doing what they was doing to Gaza. America was arming the Ukraine. Right in that time frame, I would have did everything I needed to do. And that's it. Russia missed that window where it made sense. Okay, because I would have said, well, look at what they're doing down in Gaza. America's vetoing all the time. They're vetoing. They did like 5-6 vetoes in the UN. 6 vetoes to stop the war in Gaza, right? To stop the war in Gaza. So then how am I gonna let them critique my war My war that I got with the Ukrainians. How I'm gonna let them critique that? How I'm gonna let them critique that when they sitting back letting Israel do what they do to Gaza? That's all I'm saying. Nah, y'all should have fought. Russia should have attacked harder while all this stuff was going on, and maybe you had more of a conscience because all this stuff is going on. But what I would have done is I would have attacked harder. Because meanwhile, while they was trying to, while all this stuff was going on, right, in Gaza, they was trying to critique the war that Russia had with Ukraine. They was trying to critique that. Like, oh, we got to stop this and all that. But they ain't stopping what's going on in Gaza. But the whole world is not literally stopping or vetoing. America made vetoes. They was not stopping what was going on over there because of their alliance with Israel. That's why. Their alliance with Israel is why they didn't stop the war. That's the reason why. That it wasn't cause that was the only reason. That was the real reason. Because like I've said before, Israel has to be the eyes and ears in the Middle East for America. They have to be the eyes and ears for America. Israel plays that position in the Middle East, right? So it's a relationship that they got. That's why they help them all the time. Anytime they in trouble, they veto for them and all of that. Because they needed, up until now, I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know who they're going to use next because they politicking with other countries in the Middle East. But before now, Israel was the eyes and ears in the Middle East for America to watch out for other enemies and everything like that. So that's the relationship they got, right? So that's why when Israel wanted to do what they wanted to do to Gaza, America let them do it. It wasn't even that they disagreed with it or agreed with it. It didn't matter because they wanted them to be the eyes and ears in the Middle East for America, Israel. So that's why all this has been going on. Me, if I can figure this out, how can Russia not figure this out? This war shouldn't have went on as long as it did. They should have used whatever they had to use to take care of this. That's what I'm looking at. So, I'm just kind of disappointed in how Russia is handling this war. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nah, that should have been handled. See, Sun Tzu taught this in the Art of War. Do not have lengthy campaigns. Do not have lengthy campaigns where you have these campaigns drawn out for years and years because you start to lose respect. It's a lot of reasons, but you start your morality in this war begins to be questioned. The longer it goes on, the longer the morality is questioned. So if you have a long war, the morality begins to be questioned. Okay? So, that's just, you have to realize the longer the war goes on, your men get tired. There's more new politics about the war. There's more questioning of your morality and all of this stuff. Everything gets questioned. Everything gets questioned. Right? And so that's how you understand things. This is long wars, these long lengthy wars, drawn out wars. Long as these wars keep going on, people gonna question you. They're gonna question your morality. They're gonna question what you're doing. They're gonna question your motives. They're gonna question everything. War is meant to be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's it. That's how it is. It's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You go in, you get it done, you move on. You don't fight wars on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So Russia is contradicting the art of war. Sun Tzu taught, do not have lengthy campaigns. Okay? Don't have lengthy campaigns. Don't have these drawn out campaigns where it's years and years and years and years, because people are going to question your morality. The morale of your men is going to be exhausted. You're going to exhaust your men's morale. You're going to exhaust everything about your military. And with time in one war, it's just going to be, everything is going to be challenged, basically. And you have to go in, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's over with. You see, America is going in, and look, they already said this is about to be done in a couple weeks. That's how war is meant to be fought. You don't go in years and years and years, because politics change, leadership change, everything changes. And then initially how it was saw when you went into the war, it's not seen like that no more. So you could lose your way with how it first was. Things happen in the world, other things happen in the world, and that can critique the war, the same war that you're fighting. You see what I'm saying? All these different dynamics come in, and now the war that was started for this reason is now going on with other politics considered and all these other things. Do you see what I'm saying? All these other things come into play as far as politics, and that can critique your war and your strategy and everything. So you have to make sure that you just go in and you take care of your business. You go in and you take care of your business. My war that I got going on, like, it's been just 7 years. The only reason it's been 7 years for me is because I handled it spiritually. And but my war is coming to an end because I'm taking care of my business with my enemies, you know. That's just what it is, you know. But but that's basically what it is. You know, I'm winning my wars with no problem. Now, my war is I've been getting progress the whole time, but now the Americans are suffering like never before. Like, it's blood in the water. We don't care about any psychological games. We don't care about none of that. It's all out war now. It's physical war now. But we still handling it by spiritual means, but we don't care anything about any weirdos doing psychological stuff. We already aware of that. Like, people right down the hall, you know, they just playing psychological game. Then that's never going to beat me. I'm already aware of it. If I'm aware of it, how is it going to beat me? Think about it in a smart man's mentality. If I'm aware of what you're doing, how am I going to give in to it? How am I going to give in to it and I know what you're doing? So it's never going to work because your cover has been blown, right? If your cover has been blown, and I know you playing psychological games, I'm talking about the gang stalkers, the mind readers, the telepaths, the witchcraft people. How that's going to work if I know what you're doing? It's not going to work. So all it means is my mind is just being guarded around whatever's going on, but I'm not actually giving in to what you're trying to achieve. I don't know, man. That's why people like that, I just don't acknowledge. We don't acknowledge that. That's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. This is what I've been talking about the whole time. Real spiritual manifestations, real manifestations. Things people can see on paper that you can say, this is what we doing. Like, for example, me fasting against Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem, right? Now she's not employed by the government, at least on the level she was. She was working for Homeland Security, right? Okay, whether she resigned or she got fired, she's no longer working there. Pam Bondi, I've been fasting against her. Almost a year later, she got fired. This is dates and stuff I can show and pull up on emails and screenshots, and I can show you when I started the fast, dating it and everything. And now the people is fired. Okay? And sometimes, like, it happens in months' time. You know, like Jesse Jackson. I fasted against Jesse Jackson for 1 month. He died the next month. And if you don't know why, man, because the African American community has been against me as a prophet, and I'm fighting the structure of their community. That's how I move. I come in and I fight structures. It's nothing personal. It's nothing. It's just you're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I hate to tell you, that's basically the best way to tell you. Cause I'm gonna fight your structure. I ain't gonna fight no random black people down the hall. That's nothing. I'm a fast against Jesse Jackson, and now he dead. That's why I try to tell y'all I catch bodies on this side, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't say that in the carnal way, and I don't want that misunderstood. You know, but this is spiritual warfare. You know, I go into a fast. I can prove that. I can show you why I went onto a fast against Jesse Jackson. And then a month later, he died. What's the coincidence? Okay, even though he had an ongoing sickness, I'm looking at the time. I'm looking at the timing. You think it's a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. It's not no coincidence. Okay? It's no coincidence. Okay? It's no coincidence. So we gonna fast against the structure of, for me personally, people that's outside of God's kingdom, that's African American, we fasting against their whole structure. We fasting against the structure. Okay? Okay, so we not playing psychological games today. They could think we lost. I don't care. We winning. In my world, in your world, I don't care what happens. I don't care how I'm esteemed in your world. In my world, I'm winning. And that's all we talking about, big baby. That's all we talking about. We talking about what goes on in the real world. Why everybody talking about they real. Well, show us something real in the real world. And you can't, can you? I just showed people something real in the real world. I fasted against Jesse Jackson, which was a known Freemason. Okay, that's the part we looking at. He was a known Freemason, right? I fast against him and he dies the next month later. This is spiritual war. This is where fasting is used as spiritual war. And this is real. This is when all the gloves are off and, you know, nobody wants to acknowledge all these black people against me. So, okay, so then, but I'm going to show you really where it's at, how far it went. This is how far it went. I don't fight scrubs, right? If the black community is against me, I'm gonna fight your structure. That's how military thinks. I'm gonna fight your structure. I'm gonna fight what you care about. I'm gonna fight the people you love. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna fight no random bum. You know what I'm saying? I don't fight random bums that work witchcraft, and you think witchcraft make you a shiny penny. Well, you might be a shiny penny, but that's about it. You working witchcraft and you a bum, and you got no manifestations. Nobody, you can't show nobody nothing on paper. You a bum. You a shiny penny. You a shiny penny, buddy. What you thought I was? You a shiny penny. We don't care about your opinion, whether it's right or wrong. I got weapons if you want to challenge it. I always make this very clear, because I'm not going to make it like it's a me and you type of thing, and you know you ain't going to ever confront me in real life. You're going to confront me behind closed doors. I come out of behind closed doors with weapons. I come out from behind closed doors with weapons if that's what you want to do. Other than that, man, I don't allow people to challenge me and act like it's a me and you thing. Like, I'm too real for that. That's fake. That's wrestling. That's like wrestling, you know what I'm saying? That's people that want to get attention, you know what I'm saying? Clout chasing. They clout chasing. They thirsty, man. They try, listen, I'm going to tell you, let's read your situation. You clout chasing, you thirsty, you desperate to survive. They know the America want to kill you because you caused all these problems. So now you're trying to come and trying to find anything on me, and it ain't going to be good enough because I already know what you're doing. In America know what you're doing, so then they ain't going to honor anything that you find out. Because who going to honor the person that's desperate? We know you desperate to try to get out your situation because everybody know you cause these problems. Okay, so we ain't trusting nothing you going to say. Who going to be stupid enough to say, well, yeah, I believe you. and based on what? On what reality? On what reality? See, that's all I'm saying, bro. See, you a cartoon. You stuck in a cartoon world. You can't even come into the real world. That's sad. You can't even come into the real world and fight in the real world. It don't make sense because you don't know me personally. So it's going to be crazy trying to confront me, and me and you don't know each other. That's for people in the building. That's for people in the neighborhood. I don't talk to nobody, so it's going to look crazy trying to confront, like it do already. It's going to look crazy trying to confront somebody you don't know. Okay, so then that's why I keep it like I do. Because as long as I stay unaffiliated or I don't talk to nobody, you going to look crazy because they going to say, why is he even talking to this person? Why is he even arguing with this person? Why is he even paying attention? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I keep it like this. I stay to myself. And as long as I stay like that, listen, buddy, you're going to look like a crazy, stark, raving, crazy person. They going to think you mad, bro. Like, literally. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stick back. I'm going to stay smooth and laid back. You know, with my weapons, you know what I'm saying? And if I got to do something to a person, I feel good that I know I can do something if I need to. But I'm not going to be like I was when I was younger. I ain't going to challenge. Listen, I ain't going to come out there and even worry about it because I know what you're really here for. You're really here to sabotage what I'm doing. You're really here to try to find a shred of evidence, and it's not going to work in your favor. Who's going to believe that you can find something credible when I'm in this room by myself? What's going to be credible enough to anybody in the real world that you're going to find credible with me in this room by myself? I don't go nowhere. I don't hang out with nobody. So you ain't going to have nothing in reality. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, we live in reality over here. I'm a grown man. I got a son that's 19 years old. I've been a married man. I don't live party like these gay people. These gay people that live party, they party their whole life. No, I had a child. I had a son. I was in the hospital with my son when my son was born. My son knows who I am. See, me and you two different animals, little buddy. I think you got it confused. I've been a married man. I got a child in the world. My son proves who I am sexually. See, you think about sex all the time and I don't. That's the problem. That's another problem. I ain't had sex in a whole year. I ain't had sex with nobody in a full year. I'm not worried about it. It's corny. It's corny to be thinking about sex all the time. It's corny, you know what I mean? You don't think about nothing else. You don't think about nothing else. Like, basically, everything is insinuated with sex, man. Even to the point where some of these gay people that don't only think about sex, they go into like, I guess the negative part or the spectrum of it is we'll start thinking these people think something crazy sexually. So, you know, that's part of it, right? But you still think about sex. You just kind of think about what somebody else is thinking about. Like, come on, bro, listen. I'm a grown man over here. Don't make me have to show you that. Don't make me have to show you how much of a grown man I am. Okay? Don't make me have to show you how much of a grown man I am. I got a grown son in the world. My son is 19. He's a man. My son is a man. Now imagine you trying me. I don't care if you was right or wrong. What you gonna do about it? That's what a real nigga gonna say. I don't care if you're right or wrong. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? Huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. And that's all I'm saying. When we cut to the chase, you ain't gonna do nothing. And then so why am I lingering around like it's gonna be something? I'm a real papa. I'm a papa. You just mad because you got liabilities, bro. Yeah, that's the real world. That's why I say, man, you know, this is why I say this, man. You can't come out in the hood, in the streets, and play with it for fun. Like, cause off some culture stuff, trying to be cool out here. Trying to come out here and yapping, talking, but when it comes to playing a real street position, you listen, you ain't built to do it. You ain't built to do it. I'm a real street dude, buddy. I come straight from the streets. I'm straight. Where you think I came from? I didn't come from somebody's house like you did. You might have came from some gay dude's house, right? Yeah, that part. Half of these people done came from some gay dude's house. You got kicked out. That part. Man, I came from the streets. I'm from the streets, man. That's why I'm like this. You rah because you've been like that in some gay dude's house. That's why you're here now, because you was ratchet there, and now you're ratchet here. Okay? I come from the streets. Literally, bro. Literally. And these people can't save you if I want you. That's why I'm saying be glad I ain't paying attention to you. Because if I want you, ain't what they gonna do to you? How they gonna help you if I want you? You don't want that problem, buddy. I promise you don't. I ain't worried about you. I'm just saying, I ain't worried about you. But if I was, listen, buddy, what these staff people gonna do? What the police gonna do? Because I'm gonna have my job done before the police come. I'm gonna be out the building before the police come. I'll be out this building. I go down to the bodega and turn myself in for catching a body. I already got it planned. If I catch a body, I'm gonna go right down to that bodega. I'm gonna go right down to the bodega, ask them, yo, I just killed somebody, let me call the police. I'm gonna go, because if you in this situation, they might try to shoot you or something. Police might shoot you. You never know. I'm dead serious. You don't try nobody that already done thought out the whole situation. I catch a body and go to the bodega down the street, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's why, man, you misconfused. I'm gonna tell you what happened. You misconfused my energy with hate, jealousy, and people just didn't know what a killer is really like. That's all it is. They don't know the real energy, the aura. You don't know what it is. You mistake that for a weirdo or something like that. That's what it is. Especially gay people. If you see how I carry myself, that energy, what you gonna think it is? Put that with the politics and everything you heard. You gonna think this person that carry themselves like this, almost like a goon, right? He carry himself like a goon, right? Everybody know how a goon carry themselves. He carry himself like a goon. But you heard these politics. You gonna think it's the politics. You gonna think believe the politics, cause you gonna misread my energy. That's just what it is. You gonna misread the energy. You listening to lies, man. They using the lies now because they mad. They mad they couldn't win. But I don't owe you an explanation. That's what I'm saying. See, I could have been hurt somebody by now, because I don't owe nobody anything. I don't have to tell you nothing. Let's keep that in mind. I don't have to tell you. I could just lay here and look at you and think you crazy, because you ain't confront me about nothing, so I don't even know what you talk about. But I do. I'm smart enough to know. But I can sit here and play it like you crazy. Like, I don't know you, what you talking about. I could play it like that, but I think you need to know what it's about. You've been lied to. Your country is mad because COVID-19 happened because of people like you. All y'all calls COVID-19. COVID-19 was judgment from God. None of these people can't tell you that. I'm a prophet. I can't tell you. COVID-19 was judgment from God. That's what it was. It was judgment from God. That's why they mad. That's why they running around like that. Ask yourself, why is the energy the way it is? What's making it like that? Because they mad, because they lost. That's what it is. Think about it. What's gonna stir up people and they ain't got no evidence or nothing? Why people gonna be so stirred up like that? Because they know the middle of that, those people know COVID-19 happened because of the gang stalking. All the stuff they doing right now. They was doing that before 2019. They was doing that before then, right? Now, jealous people come and see the truth about me and want to fight because they jealous. So I had to go through that too. I had to go through, once people see the truth and see how cool I am and see I'm cooler than you, I'm more of a street nigga than you are. Like, dang, now they hating. So now you blinded by hate. Not, oh, let's let the issue go. He cool. Now you still here because you a hater. Now listen, man, I'm telling you what I had to go through. Now you here because you a hater. Now you here because I'm tougher and stronger than you. Now you here because you see what I'm capable of doing to a community that play in my face. Now you're here because there's repercussions for playing with a real nigga like me. Now you here because now you see I manifest. But you all off track. I thought you were saying something else. See what I'm talking about? I thought you said I was a sex predator or something like that. So once that's gone, right? Why you still here? You know why you still here? Because you know why you're still saying the same thing? Because you can't win. You couldn't, you lost, and now you mad because the whole country is gone, and so you think you're gonna just use these accusations to the end of the world. And God ain't gonna let it go like that, bro. Listen, I ain't never been no lame nigga. I'm gonna tell you right now. And if you think I became a Christian and became a lame nigga, I'm sorry to tell you, I didn't. See, that's another thing people misinform you about. They'll come over here because you think, because I'm a Christian, you think I'm a lame nigga, and you're gonna wind up finding out the wrong way, bro. That I'm harder than some of these niggas out here on the street. And that's all the way. We're catching the body and everything. You will find out I'm more harder than these niggas out here smoking weed every day, doing cocaine and pills. That's all paraphernalia. That don't mean you no real nigga. That don't mean you gonna catch nobody because you get drunk. You're drunk. That's it. I can show you a million niggas get drunk and they losers. So just cause you smoke weed, just cause you drink, just cause you do pills or you do cocaine, that don't mean you'll catch a body. You might catch an attitude, but that don't mean you're gonna catch a body. I can do that sober. I can do that totally sober. That's how you know who's real. You know how you know who's real? I can catch a body sober, buddy. No alcohol, no cocaine, no drugs, no pills, no weed, no cigarettes, no nothing. That's how you know who real. When you stop all the drugs, and then you know what you find out. Some people ain't even real, man. Hey, as long as they doing cocaine and weed and alcohol, they real. Now let them sober up. Now they looking around different. You know what I'm saying? They done lost their drip and they swag because it was really intoxication swag. You know, you was really walking around like that because you was halfway high. You know, it wasn't really your real salt flavor. You know, that wasn't your real flair. You know what I mean? You was halfway drunk all the time. That's why you was walking around like that. Now you sober up, you a whole different person. You halfway a nerd, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no jokes. I'm funny without drinking. I'm funny without smoking, doing drugs, right or wrong. I got a sense of humor without even being high and drunk. That's real flavor. That's real personality. You gotta be drunk to have a personality. You know what I'm saying? I know people, I know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've been around real killers, man. I told y'all that. That's why I try to tell the staff in this building, the so-called staff, I've been around real killers, bro. People that kill people for real. Not, oh, we might kill somebody. No, this person did kill somebody. They did do it. Okay? It's a difference between hanging with people that might kill somebody or might have a fight, but your friends did kill people. That's the difference, bro. I've been around people that really did that. Really, really kill people, bro. So, I mean, you know, that's why I talk like I do. You know what I mean? And you see what I'm saying? And I don't play with people, bro. I don't do it. And I don't let people do it with me. See, white people is always on my side because of this. If I don't play with nobody, You ain't gonna find me just playing in somebody's face. You know what I'm saying? When you don't understand it at all, like at all. You ain't gonna ever see me in that position. Cause that's not how real dudes move. Who's gonna be out here playing with somebody in their face and playing in people's face? Who's doing that anymore? That's played out. Like Biggie said, beef is played out, bro. You want beef for people and for no reason? You a stupid person. You should be glad you ain't got no real beef. I'm serious. You should be glad. You should count your lucky stars that you ain't got no real beef. People up here, lame niggas making up beef. Yeah, that part, bruh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm talking about? See, it's a certain way people think, man, that with everything I say, that's how you know I'm real. Because for a poser, this person act like he want a problem with everybody, right? A real nigga gonna say, look, man, I ain't out here making up no beef. If I ain't got no beef, I'm glad. See, a lame ain't gonna ever think like that. Because he's trying to play a certain position, right? Right. He wants you to see him in that position. He not living real life like us, striving, going through struggles, trying to do the best we can, right? Trying to stay out of jail. You know, you in real life, in real color. You in living color. You in real life. This person plays a position. That's why posers, man, it's the death of posers. You know, it's like because this person is bent on playing a certain position. That's what we stuck with. That's the problem. You can't help a person like that. You can't rehabilitate a person that's stuck on playing a position. You can't help them because they want to play that position so bad. You can't help a person like that. You can help people that's trying to strive through real life and trying to get through real life the best way they can. See, but what I want you to understand for me, for whatever you heard, and for all these people around here, whether it be rappers or whatever, in white America, in black America, this is for all of y'all. I've already been around real killers. Like, you can't change that. So I don't care if these rappers have done that. I don't care if the streets have done that. I don't care who's done it. Besides what I've seen, right? They don't change what I've seen. They don't change what I've been through. They don't change what I've been around. They don't change what I've been around and what I've been through. Falling out with real killers. You ever fell out and had fights with real killers? I have. I've had a fight with a real killer. You can't change my story is what I'm saying. Whether it's 50 Cent, whether it's Bone Thugs, or whoever else. These people can't change who I am. And that's what a real nigga gonna tell you. I don't care what they done. I'm talking about me. And they gonna say the same thing for somebody else that's playing with them. They gonna say the same thing. I don't care what they done over there. They can't change my position. What they position got to do with mine? That's what a lame don't, because he ain't got no position. He ain't got nothing to talk about. He ain't got no real stories when he been around real killers. People that kill people for real. White America think I'm posing how? I've been around real killers. I don't care what you talking about. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line, little buddy. That's what I'm saying. So you the one, see what I'm saying? You're forced to see me for who I am. And as opposed to what you've been told. Like a little sucker, right? Like a little sucker going with what you've been told. Like, I'm just not trying to go to jail, bruh. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So if you misinterpret me by just listen, man. I'm not trying, because I know me, I've been through the system. It's two types of people that understand how hard it is to get out of a crime. People that went through the system and people that went to prison. I've been through the system. Okay? I've been on probation. I've been on them papers. I done community service. I know what it is to have to pay that money to that PO. I've been through the system, bro. Which means I know how hard it is psychologically in my mind for me to do one crime and for how long that can take to get off my record. All I got to do to comply to it. Not even jail. All the other stuff you got to comply to. probation or parole, community service, all this other stuff, and then the charge is still on your record. So we're more conscious of it. If you've been through the system or you've been to prison, you're more conscious of, if I do this to this person, I'm thinking about jail. I'm thinking about prison. As opposed to a new jack, he ain't never been through the system. He ain't never been to jail. He ain't never been, they ain't got nothing going on as far as no charges or, nothing on their record or having a probation officer, parole officer. See, what white America and black America don't want to accept is I'm just like the average black dude that done been through these real situations. I just went through it my way, and that's not totally like you expected me to. But I went through the similar same things. I got the same mentality that you scared of. The same mentality you scared of, most of y'all scared of, I got it. The difference is I choose to be a man of God. I choose to be a Christian. I choose to be a spiritual person. My sexuality never changed what I'll do to you. It never changed it. It never changed. So if you're one of them people that's stuck on what type of sexuality a person got and all of this stuff, man, listen, man. I ain't never changed what I'll do to somebody because of my sexuality. I mean, that's a stupid person to me. So that gave you room to think you could play with me. Oh, listen, man. You heard what I said. You heard what I said, bro. I'm too grown to lie. I'm too grown to care about this stuff anymore. I'm disgusted at the streets as it is. I don't care nothing about the streets no more. I don't care about the streets. So I honestly don't even want to have this conversation. But I feel like you need to know what you're playing with. If you ain't all the way in and you ain't willing to die for it, buddy, you playing with the wrong person. And that's all it is too. You can't be haphazard. Somebody's either gonna go to jail or somebody gonna get killed. That's that. And if you a sucker, I feel like you need to go to jail. Cause you in the way. That's why. You ain't the real jungle. You ain't the real niggas. You in the way. You in the way of a real nigga. Yeah, you need to go to jail so you can be corrected. You need to go to a correctional facility so you can get around real niggas and know the difference between you and them. That's why posers, street people, wannabes, they all need to go to prison and jail so that you can understand what you are and what you're not. I hold my head through shelters in Brooklyn, Bellevue, everywhere. I'm the same dude. That's all I'm saying. And that's people coming home from Rikers and everything. They not telling you that. Well, if I've been through Bellevue, that's nothing but Rikers. Especially when I was there. That's credibility. That's credibility. See, a white American don't know that. That's credibility if you go through Bellevue shelter system. A man gonna tell you that, yeah. That's credibility. Cause all them people coming from Rikers, man. Where you think they coming to? Where they coming from? Most of them people is coming from Rikers. They got out of prison. They came home and they ain't got nowhere to go. They done disconnected from their families, everything. Where they gonna go? They gonna go to the shelter. If they can't get in contact with nobody and live with nobody by the time they get out, where they gonna go? They gonna go to the shelter, Bellevue. So it was a whole hold your head prison culture there. Now imagine me being a weirdo and I'm around all them prison dudes. Ain't nobody that good, buddy. Ain't nobody that good. See, you the type of person, let me tell you what type of person you are. You the type of person that give the smart answer for everything like you know everything. You that type of nigga. You the type of nigga that a nigga tell you something and then you think it's something else. Like a bipolar person. You like a bipolar person. If I tell you, how did I get under the radar in Bellevue with all them Riker niggas? A nigga like you gonna make up another reason why it happened. All them Riker niggas I was around, bro. Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to show people I don't have nothing to prove. I don't. I already been through all those situations. I done lived in Bed-Stuy. I done lived in... Everybody know what Bed-Stuy is. And once again, how I walked through all Bed-Stuy like that. And nobody Nobody ain't red flag me. Nobody ain't try to target me or nothing. Nobody say nothing to me. Explain that. Explain that intelligently. How I go through all them places, and I'm good. I'm good in all them places because you the type of person. You so smart, you stupid. Cause look, I'm gonna show you how you so smart, you stupid. Because even if you was right intellectually, they still want you dead for all the problems you caused, man. That's what I'm saying. So you ain't in the real world. You still ain't there. You're gonna die in a cartoon world, buddy. Because they don't care. At this point, they don't care what you talking about, bro. You cause so many problems, they want you dead, man. They know you caused all of this and everybody's putting it together. Ain't nothing you can say to manipulate. Everybody know you caused all of this. And like I said before, I don't become the police for children. I don't care. Let me explain something. I'm gonna make a whole video about this. I don't become the police for children. A real nigga don't become the police for children. Which means, I'm not gonna be out here doing borderline police work because on the sake of children. And see, a lot of people in the streets, you got caught up with that, bro. Listen, man, I tell you, and I tell anybody else, I don't do police work for children. I know I don't. Which means if you come to me and tell me about some person that is a pedophile or whatever, see, this is how a street person gonna tell you, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's not my business. You know what I'm saying? If it affect my family, then I will confront it. You know what I'm saying? If that's how I move. If it confront my family, my loved ones or something like that, I will confront it. If it don't confront my family, if it ain't about my family or nothing, I can't do nothing about it. I'm not gonna do nothing about it. Better to say I'm not gonna do nothing about it. Cause see, it's some people so goofy. You think because of the subject of children, everybody gonna run around like the John Wayne. Or like Miami Vice. Bro, I'm not running around like nobody for children. For no kids. For no reason. For nothing. I'm not running around like Miami Vice for nothing. Okay? Because these are the main people talking about they with the streets. Okay, so then why you acting halfway like the police? Because how I see it is this, man. I don't care if it is about children. I ain't acting like no rat or snitch for police. No, it's not ignorance, man. It's understanding this, man. This is how we gonna break it down. If you don't have any if you don't have any charges on me, the streets ain't gonna play with it. That's how it should be. What else is there? What else is there? If you don't have charges, what else do we have? If you don't have nothing you can show us on paper, what we talking about really? The streets now, I'm talking about the streets. I ain't talking about corny niggas. What do we got to go by? Because what we see is this person have been up here in New York way too long doing nothing for us to form a different opinion. Or to form this opinion, what you talking about. What we looking at is how long this person's been up here with this dense population of people, all kind of people. All these little girls up here, all these little boys up here, and he ain't done nothing. You ain't got one little charge on this nigga. All it takes is one charge for you to prove this narrative about this person, and you don't got that. You ain't got one little charge where we can say, okay, right here, this was a little girl right here for sure. So even if this other stuff was a lie, what about this? You ain't got none of that kind of stuff. And I done been through this dense population in New York where all these kids, that's what people looking at. Now, if I was in Kansas, you could say, well, he wasn't really around nobody in Kansas. So he really ain't had no opportunity. Kansas ain't really no big city. I mean, you know what I mean? He could be walking around weird in Kansas. You know what I mean? New York City, this nigga come to New York City and he don't do nothing? And he's supposed to be a weirdo. See, you so stupid, and that's how we know you so smart, you stupid. Because that's what a smart nigga in New York gonna look at. Oh, look at all these people. Why he ain't do nothing up here? No, I'm talking about when he first came up here. This nigga was up here before y'all was playing around with him. He was already up in New York. Why you ain't got one situation that is shaky with all these people he done seen? Think about it. And if he was a weirdo, he would have done something by now. He would have seen all the people. Think about it. He would have seen all the people. That's what I'm saying. And that's why it's not believable, man. That's why you're so smart, you're stupid. Because you got all the information in front of you need to know. But you too damn stupid to see it. Ain't no way in the world somebody gonna come to New York and he's supposed to be, and especially supposed to be a weirdo like you talking. He's supposed to be a weirdo like you talking. Well, why he ain't done nothing then? Make it make sense, man. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you so smart, you stupid, bruh. That's why I'm saying I know what type of niggas y'all are. Y'all the type of niggas that y'all sit up, somebody will tell you something, and you'll sit up and think about something else. But what about this? But what about that? But what about this? They them type of niggas, man. You don't let nobody play with you like that. If I break that down to you like that and you think about something else, man, you a type of retarded type of person. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. You a type of retarded person. I'm not picking at retarded people, but you a type of retarded person, bro. Not because, listen, a smart person gonna know that's absolutely right. How in the world he gonna be in New York with all these people and we don't find nothing sketchy? Nothing. And remind you, he done been homeless on the streets. He got all kind of idle time. All these days he been on the streets. Think about it. Nothing funny on the trains. Nothing funny in the train stations. He don't get nabbed for nothing. Police can't say he did nothing sketchy. Nah. Now I can see if they pulled up and say, well, yeah, right here he was kind of, right there he was kind of nothing. Do you know what that means? It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It means I'm normal. That's what it means. See, if you're not careful, you're gonna think you're looking for perfection when you're supposed to be looking for normal. I'm not normal. I'm not perfect, but I'm normal, right? So if you're looking for perfection, that's the type of white boy police energy that we don't need in our community. No, I'm normal, which means just like you ain't got no charges for doing crazy stuff, I don't have no charges for doing crazy stuff. You're not perfect, right? But you ain't got no charges for doing crazy stuff, do you? Well, I hope you don't. But the most of us don't. And are we perfect? No. No. Do I got a perfect mind? No. Do I make mistakes? I probably do. But you ain't gonna find no crazy charges on me. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect. See, if you don't check this, it's this type of person that's looking for you to be perfect. For them to go away and go screw themselves. They're looking for you to be perfect. No, I don't have to be perfect. I have to be normal. Something that you left a long time ago. You left being normal a long time ago, didn't you? I didn't. I'm still normal. I'm still a normal person. Which means, listen, buddy, I'm not perfect. I don't supposed to be. See what I'm saying? A normal person's supposed to tell you, oh, I'm not perfect. But I'm not on trial because I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not on trial because I'm not a perfect person. I can only be on trial if you got charges, sucker. That's the only way. I ain't finna be on trial if you ain't got no charges, sucker. That's it. And that's the American way. America knows that. I know that. Black people know that. White people know that. And everybody else knows that. And that's why it's a war. That's the punchline. That's why it's a war, because you act like you lost your mind. Okay? You ain't got no charges on me. You see me up here in New York. I explained it perfectly. I've been around all these people. If I was sketchy, if I was weird, it would have came out. There ain't no way in the world you're going to tell me it couldn't. But you the type of nigga, you so smart, you stupid. That's just what it is, man. That's what it is. There ain't nothing else to it. You the type of retarded type of nigga. Sitting up thinking about something else, playing around somebody's head. I don't care about that. I want you to go ask NYPD about me, buddy. You know what NYPD gonna tell you about me? All weapon charges. Every time I've been arrested for weapons. Yeah. Go ask NYPD about me. Ask NYPD, buddy. All weapon charges. Arrested for weapons. Arrested for weapons. Over and over again. And the last time I had to run from the police. I had to. And I got away. I would have had another charge. But I got away. You know what I'm saying? And but I haven't been locked up in 3 years. I'm glad to say I have not been arrested in 3 years. But yeah, I was up here getting arrested for carrying weapons in New York. Okay? I'm the dude that carry a machete. I bought a machete. You don't play with no nigga like that. A machete? That's what I was carrying. A machete, buddy. I bought it right here in New York. You know what a machete will do to you? You don't play with nobody that even think like they go buy a machete straight from the store. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. I don't sit up and boast about it. I'm just saying I be about it, man. I went and got me a machete from the store. I hit you one time with a machete, I'll change your whole life. One time. I guarantee you'll be saying, please, please, please. That's what's going to come out your mouth, man. That's when I had a machete. I already priced a machete in this neighborhood. I already know where to get them at and everything in your neighborhood. What kind of person you think I am, man? I already told you, man. I done priced machetes in your neighborhood right here. I'm just giving you an example. If I had a machete with me, like I used to, if I hit you with that one time, that's all it's gonna take to change your whole attitude. I hit you anywhere on you. I hit you in your back, your leg, your arm. It's gonna change your whole attitude anywhere I hit you. I swing anywhere. You try to grab it, you can't grab no machete. You ain't Superman. You try to grab that machete, it's gonna tear your hand, your whole hand gonna be bleeding profusely, man. You might lose nerves in your hands and everything. Your hand might not never be the same. You can't grab no machete. You can't grab my arm. You can't grab my arm. That's the movies. In the movies, you can grab somebody's arm. You can't grab my arms. If I got a machete, I learned how to wield it too. I learned how to wield. I got my own form with it and everything. If I hit you with a machete, it'll change your whole life. That's all I'm saying, bro. I had that right here in New York. It's people that can vouch for that. I was walking down, carrying it on me and everything. That's a whole different animal, man. That's what I'm trying to show you. You gotta listen. Now, right there. Let's hold it right here. Now, you either gonna be a lame nigga, jealous of it, jealous of who I am, or you gonna be a real nigga and respect it and see who I am for who I am. But a lame nigga right now hating on it. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, bro. It's some type of people that gotta be eliminated. A real nigga like respecting, like, yeah, okay, that's what's up. You know what a lame nigga doing right now? Being skeptical, trying to find a way in. You know what I'm saying? That type of lame nigga right there is what we gotta get rid of. That's what we talk about. I lived with a woman from the South Bronx. Before I even came to New York. That's another smell test I passed. I was living with a woman from the South Bronx, man. Sell cocaine in the clubs and everything like that. That type of chick. Traveling with the Yankees. As in baseball Yankees. She used to travel with the Yankees. My girlfriend used to travel with the Yankees and sell drugs in the clubs, lived in the South Bronx. You know what I'm saying? How am I gonna be fake around somebody like that? I'm living with her. I'm just not ratchet, bro. But listen, street people I've been around. I'm just not ratchet, and that's what deceived you about me. That's what deceived you. I'm just not a ratchet person. I got my own personality, and I be myself. I learned to do that. That's what people gonna love about you, respect about you. You don't, you know, but don't ever get it twisted that like, I ain't never been around no killers and street people. I live with a woman from the South Bronx, man. Know what I mean? I've been around killers, Jamaican killer. I had a Jamaican friend, he was a killer. Only 20 years old with a body under his belt, killed somebody. He killed somebody and he was only 20 years old. So that means he was probably like 17, 16 when he killed somebody. Something like that. He ain't just do it when I met him. So, you know, I take out about 3 years. So he probably about 16, 15, 14, somewhere about 15, between 15 and 17. I figured he was a boy when he did it. When I was in school, my friend in school had an attempted murder charge. This is when I was in school, back in grade school. That's the first time I was around somebody that almost killed somebody. He had an attempted murder charge. That means whatever he did, they felt he would have killed that person. He tried to kill a person. That was my friend. I went to his house, met his family, played Uno with his sister, met his mother. He had an attempted murder charge. I went and met his family. That's what I'm trying to show you. That's me as a child when I was 17. I was already around somebody like that. See, they ain't gonna tell you the whole story. They couldn't possibly know. You ain't know I had a friend that had an attempted murder charge. When I was a kid, I went and met his mother, played Uno with his sister. You know, like family. So, you know, I tell my story. You tell yours. You know what I'm saying? And we'll figure it out from that. Because once we realize you ain't got no background with hanging around no real niggas, no killers or nothing to that degree, then we don't feel like you should be playing with somebody like me. When you hear that I've been around somebody that had an attempted murder charge, now you can't say I'm posing. Now you can't say stay in your own lane. Well, what was that? His friend had an attempted murder charge. What you mean? What else what other lane you talk about? What lane he supposed to go in besides the one he been in? That's what I'm saying. See, I just got a colorful personality. I'm one of them type of people. And it'll throw you off every time. And I done been around people that done took people's lives. And I can look you right in your face and you ain't gonna think I got the ability to do that to you. That's what throws you off. I like it like that, because you know what? Guess what? When the crime, the charges go out, they gonna doubt me. They gonna think, oh, nah, not him. I like it like that. I don't have no problem with you thinking that. When you thinking you can play with me, guess what, buddy? I'm gonna be the one that take you if I got to. The one you playing with, it's always like that. The one you sleep on, that's the one gonna get you. The one you playing with, that's the one gonna kill you. See, if you've been around black people, they gonna tell you that. Yeah, that one you thought you could have got away, that's the one got you. That one you thought you could play with, he the one killed you. That's the one got you. That one that nobody don't really know him. They saying all that crazy stuff. They think he weird, he's straight. That's the one killed you. That's how it works. The popular people ain't gonna never do nothing. The people that everybody face ain't gonna never do nothing. The most they'll do is they might fight. They might fight. You know what I'm saying? They might throw the fight a little bit. Most of these people, man, that's popular, they ain't gonna do nothing. No, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing. The ones that kind of on the outskirts, that don't deal with everybody, kind of antisocial, that's the ones you don't play with, man. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. That's how we was raised. Quiet people, the quiet ones, the ones gonna get you. The quiet niggas, no, a quiet nigga can talk like I talk, but by the time he talking, it's already a problem. You already know that. You can tell, right? But when he watch how he move, when he from point A to point B, he ain't bothering nobody, right? That's a quiet nigga. It ain't a quiet nigga don't mean you don't talk at all. See, some people take it to the extreme. It's no, a quiet nigga can speak up, have a good time. He can talk to his woman. What, he a mute? Is a quiet nigga a mute? that'll kill somebody? They say killers move in silence, but is the nigga a mute? No, the nigga ain't a mute. He can talk. He got flair. He can talk. He talk. You know, talk to his woman. How you gonna get a female and he don't talk? So he talks, but he ain't in everybody's business. He ain't one of these ratchet niggas. He ain't talking to everybody. He don't talk. He don't entertain everybody. That type of nigga that's point A to point B that you play with, that's gonna be the nigga to kill you right there. And you know why? I'm gonna tell you the main reason why, which people don't really add to that whole story about the quiet people. Quiet people will hurt you because they feel justified. They mind their business. That's why they will kill you, and the other people will vouch for it, and they will, you know, because people feel like that person minded their business. They minded their business. It was no reason for you to play with that person. Okay, so then by the time he do what he do, everybody is with it. Like right now, like me doing what I do, as far as spiritual warfare, all the stuff I'm doing with spiritual warfare, people feel me. You know why? Because I mind my business. I mind my business. I'm from North Carolina. I'm not even from New York. That's why a clown nigga that can't even look me in my face. You know what I'm saying? The clown nigga can't even look me in my face, bro. I'm from North Carolina. I'm not from New York. I ain't born and raised up here at all. I'm from North Carolina. Okay, so if you size me up as one of these heartless, godless New York dudes, that's not me. It's a lot of godless people up here. Ain't got a bit of God in their heart at all. God ain't on their flesh at all. You can't see the shine of God on their face. If you're from the South, you know what I'm talking about. When you can just see the glow like people's skin glowing from spending time with God. You don't see none of that on these godless people. And it's just, man, listen, bro. Listen. You shouldn't have let no white people play with no black man. This ain't nothing but a race war to me. It's a race war. It's a race war. Yes, it is. You shouldn't have brought no crackers out here playing around no black man and then thinking you could justify it like a clown. A white man don't know nothing about me, and I can have white friends, and I'll still say this around my white friends. White people shouldn't be in no black people politics. Yeah. A matter of fact, if you got white friends, you need to put them on the level. You need to tell them the truth. Don't have no white people around you, you ain't keeping it 100. Yeah, let them hear how niggas think. That's right. That's right. Y'all get drunk, tipsy, and talk and keep it 100. Yeah, that's right. Pull them up on the level so they know they can't say certain stuff, but you let them hear certain stuff. They can't say certain stuff, but you let them hear certain stuff. Like white people shouldn't be in our business. No, you should, cause you don't understand black people. You don't understand how we really are as people. You don't understand how I think. You don't understand what I do. You don't understand my energy. You don't understand what's real and fake. You gonna go by obvious stuff like, oh, a dude killed 4 people. Now that's a killer. That's a killer. He killed 4 people. A white boy can only see a killer if he done kill about 4 people. If he look halfway schizophrenic, oh, he thinks that a killer. You don't really know who black unless they dark skinned as Wesley Snipes. Then I can show you a light skinned boy that's more black than a dark skinned boy. But you white, you gonna say, oh, now that's a black dude. And guess what he gonna be? Real dark skinned. See, white folks, that's the only way you classify somebody as African. Now, you can take me around 2 people. I can see a dark skinned dude and a light skinned dude. If the light skinned dude showing more signs of being real, like far as rules and regulations and how black people think, black world views, he got black world views and black mentality. I'm going to say the light-skinned dude is blacker than the dark-skinned dude. Blackness is not just complexion. It's a mentality. It's worldviews. And it's rules and regulations that come from black culture. See, I can explain it intelligently what it is to be black. And you can't. You can explain it intelligently without stumbling over yourself like a little kid. Well, to be black. No, I ain't going to talk like that. To be black is a worldview. That's basically what it is. To be black is a worldview, rules and regulations based on the culture. If you don't know that, how in the world are you black? How are you black? Because of your complexion, but you ain't got no worldviews of a black man. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna let somebody come out here and play with me and you ain't got no charges. That's how black people think. How else we think differently? I don't care if it's about children or not. So what? I'm not a white boy where I'm gonna run out here and put on the cape for for children. A white boy put on the cape for children. I don't put on the cape for nobody. Your grandma will say the same thing. Your grandma will tell you, I ain't putting on the cape for nobody. Your own grandmama gonna tell you that. Your grandma gonna say, I ain't putting on the cape for nobody. Your grandma gonna tell the police and these white folks need Freemasons, I ain't putting on the cape for nobody. If we don't see no charges, we ain't messing with them. I know that for sure. I'm absolutely positive. And that could be about children all day. I ain't putting on the cape for these children. No, I'm not. If you ain't got no charges, that's putting on the cape. You like a vigilante, some Batman character, some stuff, right? If you ain't got no charges, listen, that's good enough for me to not mess with this person. Now, a white boy it has always thought, well, we still gonna get the bad guy. We still gonna get him. We still gonna get him. See, that's the white boy mentality. We still gonna get him. Now you see what I'm talking about. See, I know how these white people think. I know how these white folks think. You don't. You think listen. How you know how they think, and you out here doing what white people would do. You out here doing what white people would do. I would stop right there and say, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. That's kind of white, ain't it? That's kind of white of me. I feel like I ain't doing what a black person would do. No, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that I don't feel, if I don't see this person doing nothing. He done came up here in New York. He done been in this neighborhood. How long I been in this stinking neighborhood? I've been here since October, right? Okay, November, December, January, February, March. I've been in this neighborhood for 5 months. Did you see me do anything sketchy? That's 5 months. See, this is why I tell people, time, when you got time, you don't need an investigation. When you got time, you don't need an investigation. An investigation is when you don't have enough time to see who this person is. And I need to see how he is quickly, right? I need to find out who he is quickly. But once enough time goes by, life is going to tell you who the person is. Because he's going to interact with children in a certain amount of time. And you gonna see, oh, he just walk past children. He don't do nothing with no children. You gonna see that over and over again. Oh, we went past children again and again and again. He ain't do nothing. Okay, that tells me who he is right there. Enough time goes by and I see who he is. So an investigation should never, it's an oxymoron to have a long investigation. And as far as seeing character, no, I'm talking about as far as seeing character. I'm not saying selling, doing other things. You know what I'm saying? They got investigations for all kind of other crazy stuff, right? Even investigating the feds or investigating other these politicians, whatever. But when we talk about character investigation, we can't let people Jedi mind trick us. And all investigations is not the same thing. We talking about character investigations. A character investigation is going to be proven with a certain amount of time. Once a certain amount of time goes by, I don't need to know nothing else about you. Because I seen you interact with the families, the children, the community, the old women, the young women, the babies, and you didn't do anything. And sometime, enough time went by, you went past these same people over and over again, and nothing happened to them. That's all I need to know. An investigation of character, like the way you doing it, it can only last but so long before the truth comes out with time. Time goes by. Oh, I seen him walk past old women, young women. Okay, so then enough time went by for me to see this person interact with the community, and that's all I wanted to see anyway. The bottom line is you want to see how I interact with the community, right? You want to see if I'm safe for the community, right? Okay, so how you don't see that with time? How you don't see that with enough time? How you don't see that in 5 months when I've been interacting with the community? When some days I gotta come out in the daytime, right? You ain't see me do nothing crazy, did you? You ain't see me stalking and walking around and doing weird stuff, did you? Okay then. Okay then. So then enough time went by for you to see my character. And that's how you tell it, buddy. See, you thought I was an ignorant delinquent. I tried to tell these dumb people. I tried to tell you. You playing with the best, buddy. And if you don't know what, listen, I'm the best in every way you imaginable. In every way imaginable, I'm the best. If you come to me intellectually and you don't know what you're doing, listen, buddy, I'm gonna sink your ship, buddy. I'm gonna sink your ship. You came out here talking about children. Now Brooklyn done killed a 7-month-old baby. And that's the punchline. Now Brooklyn can't even come out here. Man, how you gonna feel coming out here trying to talk about something, but then y'all just killed a 7-month-old baby in Brooklyn? You can't come out here no more. Nobody want to see you. For what? Well, how you my judge? How you my judge, bruh? Y'all just killed a 7-month-old baby, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Less than 2 days ago. Stop playing with me. Your time of trying to judge somebody is over. But you're too stupid to see it because you don't live in the real world. That's for these secret society people, these witchcraft people. You're too stupid to see it that your time of judging people is over. When a 7-month-old baby dies, you don't think it's time for you to stop talking about the well-being of children and y'all killing children as young as 7 months, which means that child was in diapers. That child had diapers on, buddy. That's young as it gets. And listen, that means you gotta hang up your cape, little buddy. Hang it up. Hang up that cape. Out here like Batman and killing 7-month-old babies. And you ain't never seen me bring no harm to no little 7-month-old baby. You ain't seen nothing to the like. I'm gonna say it like in the South. You ain't seen nothing to the like. You ain't never seen me harm no baby in diapers. You ain't never seen me do it, but I can show you where you did it. Just now. You did it just now, buddy. That's all I'm saying. Now, right there again is where a sucker is thinking about something else. A sucker is thinking about something else, right? What you thinking about as a grown man? Brooklyn just killed a 7-month-old baby. You think they can come out on me the next time I come out there? No, no. A grown man is saying, y'all, they need to fall all the way back. You can't come out here playing with nobody no more. You can't be serious. Get yourself together. And that's what I've been telling y'all. Get yourself together before you try to get me together. Get your community together before you try to judge me. I'm talking to you just like a thug will talk to you. Get your own community together before you try to judge what I do. But before you try to judge how I live, however you think I live, before you try to judge that, get yourself together, man. That's what we talk about. Get yourself together. Don't try to get me together. That's what a grown man gonna do. He gonna get himself together. A grown man is about his own business anyway. That's why I know no players ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't talking to the players because I know the players, man, the players minding his business. He's spending time with his family, kicking it, have a couple of drinks with the fellas, have a couple of beers with the fellas or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Play some pool, And you come to him, he's in a whole different world. A player is in a grown man is in a whole different world from these people. He's minding his business. He's you know what I'm saying? He's a family man, minding his business. He's with the homies, and that's it. He ain't got nothing to do with no. He say, she say. He say, she say. That's another good term for it. He say, she say. Imagine approaching a grown man with he say, she say. Oh, what he gonna say? Well, he gonna scratch his head like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, well, I got something to do, man. I gotta go. I'm on the road. That's how he gonna hit you. I bet you that's how he hit you, didn't he? Oh, I'm about to go somewhere. I'll let you, man. You know what I'm saying? He always doing something. What you doing? You sitting around idle. It's a cliche in America that says the idle mind is the devil's workshop. The idle mind, the person that's an idle-minded person. Your mind is the devil's workshop. Sitting around thinking about another nigga, you should be thinking about yourself. That's the problem. You don't see me doing it. You can't see me focus on no particular person unusual in an unusual way. Where it's totally unusual. I might address people here and there. But what, like, I'm just focused on this person? No. You ain't gonna never see me like that. You ain't gonna never see me, because it's just not in my nature. It's not in my worldviews. It's not in my mentality. Because how I feel is, if I don't see you doing something, if I don't see you doing something out here in the streets, and I don't see you confirming the narrative that they talk about, I don't care about it. I don't become the police for children. No, which means I'm just out here for these children. I'm just trying to find out something about this person. I'm just doing something against this innocent person that I ain't seen do nothing for children. I don't care what it's about. And I don't feel bad saying that. I do not feel bad saying that. I don't care what it's about. I don't care what it's about. If it's about children, I don't care if it's about senior citizens. I don't care what it's about. You better have charges. If you want me involved, you better have charges, you better have evidence, you better have receipts and all that good stuff. You ain't got no receipts, I don't want to hear it. And that's it. That's all. Ain't nothing else hard, ain't nothing else to say. You know, and see how quick a real nigga sum it up? Less than 2 hours, I've summed it up. It's all over. Like, you don't have to come back to it tomorrow. You don't have to come back to it next month when I finish with this. You ain't gotta ever revisit this again. And that's how you do it. That's how I know real niggas ain't in it. You know, cause in essence, especially when it goes on for a long time, they gonna start talking like I'm talking right now. They gonna get tired of it, they tired of hearing about it. They gonna say, if they ain't got no charges, we ain't trying to hear it. Point blank period. Point blank period. We ain't trying to hear it. It don't matter that much. No, kids don't matter that much. Not to the point where I'm tearing up the whole community. No. That's out of whack. Kids, see, when people tell you this kind of stuff, you think they being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being real. Nobody matters this much, not even kids. No, nobody. No human beings matter enough to tear up the whole country, bruh. No. But that's how we know we dealing with retarded people. A retarded person that still tear up the whole community for children. And then, but see, that's why Tupac said this. It takes skills to be real. It takes skills to be real. A real nigga gonna say, you know, I care about kids, but not to the point where I'm tearing up the whole community. No, that's oxymoron. I mean, okay, if I'm gonna tear up the whole community, that means children gonna be affected while I'm talking about doing stuff for children. That's what happened to you. You came out here talking about children or whatever, you wind up messing up the whole community. Now you put children in danger because of what you done. See what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you, people are so smart, they stupid, bro. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm sitting here with honor. But did I try to run out here like Superman for children? Did I try to run out here like I was Batman for children? No, I did not. But I got more respect because I started talking about real stuff like America marrying children. See, that's the balance in my energy. While you might think I'm a villain, you can see the hero part. The hero part is me talking about them marrying children. That's the light part of me. Me talking about them marrying children. You can't get past that. You can't act like a hero marrying children. America has laws to marry children in 34 states. That's more than half of the country. How can you be a hero marrying children? Make it make sense. You're a hero, you're Batman, but you're marrying children in 34 states of America. That stinks. How you gonna be marrying children in 34 states of America, but you claim to be a community that looks out for the well-being of children? Make it make sense to a smart man like me. That does matter because that's something that's done in our community. That's the community marrying the children. Okay, so it's done in our community. How is it not relevant? It's happening in our community. How is it not relevant? It's happening here in our community. How is it not, I mean, people smoke too much weed, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you. They only halfway know what you're talking about, man. Listen, I'm serious. Smoke too much weed, man. That's why I say, man, that's why I've said in the past, everybody shouldn't be a judge over us. This is what happens. People come out here talking about something they don't know nothing about. And then you meet a real judge, somebody that know what they're doing. That tell you all the stuff you think you're doing don't even matter. Which means that your best efforts, it's worthless. It's worthless to us. When kids are being killed as young as 7 months. 7 months. That's a baby. That's an infant. Killed by these streets in Brooklyn. It's the end. Game over, sucker. Ain't nobody I ain't listening to nobody around here. And see, that's where I walk away. And I already told you I was walking away, right? Now you see why. You see how I was already planning to walk away and then this happened? No, I'm serious. Look at that. That tells you I was right. I want you to think about this. I already said I was going to leave, right? Look what happened after that. Now you see how my steps are ordered. God already knew, listen, it's time for him to leave. And look, a 7-month-old child get killed. That's the confirmation. I was right. It's time to go. It's time to leave New York. That's what it is. It's time to leave. It's time to leave, man. Nah. That leave a bad taste in my mouth, man. I'm cool on that. I don't think that'll really happen. Well, it's happening everywhere. It is happening everywhere, though. But, I don't know, man. I take my chances down south somewhere. I think people are still got good hearts down south. You can meet good human beings down south. Up here, people are becoming animals. And that don't even mean people that's part of the streets. I'm not even talking about people that's part of the streets. I'm talking about everyday people. They just becoming animals. Like animalistic, just like they ain't got no feelings. They ain't got no heart. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no conscience. I don't want to be around that. I'd rather go to the South, where also they not celebrating all this gay stuff all the time. It's gay people there, but it's a balance. It's not like how I'm in a situation where I'm trying to get housing and I gotta be. They should have a building for straight people and gay people. We shouldn't be all in the same building. This is New York City. How they ain't got a building for straight people and gay people? They probably do. How you gonna send me to a gay building? Bro, nah. If you got a building for people that got STDs and they getting housing, how you got a building just for trannies and gay people? I'm being real. But you ain't got no building for straight dudes that might find camaraderie in other straight men that's going through the same thing. I can't find no camaraderie with gay and trannies. No. We live 2 different lives, man. I'm not saying I'm here for friends, but it would be a lot better if it was a building full of guys, that's just trying to get back to real life and get with a woman and family, and you got stories you can talk about with your kids. I got a son. I can't relate to them. They can't relate to me. So I can't talk no kind of conversation to them where they can relate to me. They can sit there and listen, but they can't relate, with having kids and, not being able to see your kid and stuff like that. I'm one of them people. While they sitting up talking about whatever, see, they used to being without kids. They try to play me like that's my position. Like they would love to think that. They would love to think I ain't got no child in the world, but I do. Even me, even the prophet got a son. Even me. I go through the same stuff you go through, thinking about what I could be, what trying to be in my son's life. What could I be in my son's life? How I would be? Could it happen moving forward? You know, it's just I deal with the same pain that comes from a broken home. That parents that break up a home, or for whoever fault it was, I got the pain of those type of situations. Of a parent that didn't get to see his son grow up, all that kind of stuff. It's time for people to realize they've been played into and bamboozled into games and stuff that we don't care about. People trying to accuse people. They just sitting over here playing spiritual games, witchcraft games, trying to accuse people. And we getting revenge for all of it. I'm getting revenge for every single second that you playing around my mind while I'm trying to get, while I'm talking about these real issues. I'm getting absolutely, like what that movie was saying, Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, Killshot was Will Smith's character, right? Killshot was the military type of dude. He said, when I get out of here, I'm gonna rain on you like the Holy Ghost. I'm gonna rain on you like the Holy Ghost. And I'm telling you the same thing, buddy. When I get out of this situation, I'm gonna rain on y'all like the Holy Ghost, buddy. Absolutely. Ain't that funny that they put that part in there? Talking about the Holy Ghost. On Suicide Squad, Killshot, when he was locked up, and they was playing games with him and everything, he said, when I get out of here, listen, man, I'm gonna rain on you like the Holy Ghost, buddy. Make no mistake about it, I'm willing to die for my position. I'm not a toy soldier. I'm not a paper soldier. I'm not a plastic soldier. I'm willing to die for this. And if you was in any situation like I was, you would be willing to die for it too. I'm willing to die for this position, little buddy. That's why I don't give a darn about what you talking about, buddy. Because if you ain't willing to kill about it, I'm gonna walk right through what you talking about. And that's that simple. It's that simple. And I know you ain't willing to die for it because you don't know what to believe. I know what to believe because I know me. I know my situation. I know what to believe. I know what to believe. I'm just like Killshot. I send out my offerings to different countries. They'll think I'm a serial killer with a credit card. Remember they said that? You're just a serial killer with a credit card on the first Suicide Squad. You're just a serial killer with a credit card. Well, I'm putting out my offerings to different countries, just like Killshot. And I promise you, when I come out of this facility, I'm going to rain on these people like the Holy Ghost. Oh yeah, I know all you've done. The whole time I was in this building, the whole time I was in this neighborhood, and when I get out of this situation, buddy, listen, I'm telling you, listen, it's going to be hell on earth. It's going to be hell for you. You think I'm stupid. I just had to play cool. Okay, what I'm going to do? Kill somebody and go to jail? So then what? If I fight somebody, I'm going to halfway kill them. What can I do? You see what I'm saying? It's just like, so you gotta be cautious to where you don't put yourself in those situations. To where you jeopardize your freedom. That's how you know I ain't crazy. Crazy people don't talk like that. Crazy person would never say, yeah, I'm jeopardize my freedom. Crazy people don't talk about their freedom. Jeopardizing their freedom. That's why I just listen to people. Okay, I know you ain't too crazy. Well, you got enough patience not to jeopardize your freedom. A crazy person don't care. A maniac do not care. There's some people that don't care. They do not think about it. They don't care. You trying them, you die. You trying them, they look at it one way. They gonna give you the whole turn up. They ain't gonna hold back and all of that good stuff. You gonna get it all. And they not gonna care what happens. They gonna feel justified, especially if they was me. You playing with me, they gonna feel, that's all he gonna be saying to the police. This person was playing with me. And you know what? To a certain degree, police will sympathize with people like that. If the police know how crazy people are, more than you know, and you was playing with this person, they gonna sympathize with that person. Because things are too serious. They gonna think, well, why was they playing with this person? That's what he gonna think. He gonna defend me. He ain't gonna defend you. He gonna say, because he gonna look at it like, if you wasn't playing with that person, this wouldn't have happened. That's straight point blank period. Point blank period. If you wasn't playing with that person, that wouldn't have happened. So we sympathize, they'll talk to me real cordial. Yeah, you just got to go through the process. I know you was defending yourself. They're going to be talking like that. Police ain't going to be on your side. You out here playing with people and playing in people's face. They are not a fan of that. Not good cops. A good cop is not going to be on your side. If they know all the games these niggas in here playing, they going to feel like you deserve it. They going to feel like, well, to a certain degree, yeah. You messed around and found out, like people said. You messed around and found out. That's what happened. You messed around and found out, buddy. And who you think usually mess around and find out? Black people. If it comes from the black community, then I'm pretty sure they're talking about other black people. You messed on the average situation, it's other black people messed around and found out, buddy. You messed around and found out, which means you was arrogant enough to come playing around somebody in the first place. And you messed around and found out. Okay? To find out, you first was messing around. You messing around, that's the first part. That's the first part that you will never find me doing. You'll never find me messing around and then finding out. You the type of person that mess around and find out. Okay, you don't find out what you want to find out. You don't find out what you want to find out, buddy. Yeah, man. Like, it's always like this. All the people that think they the coolest person, that'd be the main punk right there. That'd be the main punk. Everybody who's cool with everybody, that's a big old punk right there. Now the one that's kind of outcast and kind of standoffish, that's the worst person to play with, man. And it's always like that. It's always been like that in the black community. The main one in everybody's face, making everybody laugh out on the block, that's a clown right there. Now the one that keep it moving past everybody, but he kind of cool with everybody, but he point A to point B. He don't really say too much. He kind of cool every time you see him. He ain't in everybody's business. Even if he's standing around, you ain't gonna see him entertaining other people's business. You can look at him and tell. You can look at him and tell he ain't gonna be talking about this person, talking about that person. He's not that type of person. But you know you can't try this person. You know what I'm saying? And see some people mess around and find out. You don't think he got turned up, then you find out the hard way he do. You find out the hard way he more ready than you thought he was. Way more ready than you thought he was. You can say that in 2026. Find out he more ready than you thought he was. He more ready than you thought he was, wasn't he? Way more ready than you thought he was. You know what I'm saying? It's that's why I say it's not nothing personal against black people. It's how do you talk about a situation that's unique as mine where people can't relate to it? Well, you can't relate to this. And these white people looking can't relate to it. And these Hispanic and Latinos and Americans looking, they can't relate to this. These people played with my life. And it was a lot of black people. That how it ain't black people and I'm black. It had to be. It had to be black people first. And that's what white people telling me. Well, we ain't started this. I know they didn't start it. It was black people that started it. Okay, so then for black people, good black people, you don't know how it happened. You don't know why I'm like this. You don't know why I'm attacking the structure of communities. Because this is like I like to put it, like a TV series. It's not a game, it's not a movie. But I say that in terms of a TV series because it's like season 7 and you coming in not knowing nothing about season 3, season 4, you don't know what happened. How you ever watched a TV series where you got interested in it? It was like, oh, I like this. But usually on the average situation, you come in about season 2 or 3, right? How many times you done that? But then you go back and get season 1, season 2. If you really like it, you're going to get season 1, you're going to get season 2. I done that. Just in case you think I was under a rock somewhere. And maybe you don't know how relevant I am in the world. I have gotten seasons, TV seasons and series and things like that. Where you get all the CDs, all the seasons, and all the episodes, and you binge watch the whole thing, right? So you coming in on about season 7, and you might not know why is this issue in this series. What is this issue with black people? You might even say it just like that. What is this issue with black people? Because they the ones started the politics in season 1. In season 1, which you're not aware of, because you ain't watched it, right? So all you're hearing is these complex layers of politics and street politics and spiritual politics and all of this. But you don't know about season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, right? Season 5 and 6. How could you know? So a smart man has to say, well, okay, I don't know all that's going on. So let me figure it out. If I really want to know, I'm going to go back and watch some of the other videos he got. Right? Then I'm going to figure it out. I ain't going to judge the situation by what I'm hearing because I'm smart enough to know I don't know all that's going on. Then you go find out when you go to season 2 of my situation. Season 1, season 3, black people sent the person to him to give him HIV on purpose. Black community gave him HIV on purpose. No, hold up. I can hate black people just for that. You understand? No, I'm talking about being human. I can hate them just for that reason. They done got so comfortable, like they always do with their own mistakes and flaws, that when I say that, you already dismissed it. You already dismissed it, right? They sent somebody to me on purpose to give me HIV. They did, bro. They did. Black people. Okay? That's who it was. They thought they was doing it for their community. They thought they was doing it getting revenge against somebody that didn't like them. And the reason why I didn't like them at the time is because they was in my politics. So then that's what I was picking up on. They was listening to other people, and that's ghetto, right? We call that ghetto in the real world. Okay, so I don't come out here listening to other people as a grown man. You ain't gonna find me as a grown man. Going out here, well, over here, imagine a grown, competent, masculine man going over here in somebody else's business. I just grew up around masculine men. It's just not becoming of a real man. It's not becoming of a real man to be in the other nigga's business. That's the first thing a nigga gonna tell you. Why that nigga in your business? Huh? Nah, you need to check that, bruh. They don't need to be in your business. If they don't see you doing nothing out here, you need to check them niggas. Other niggas will tell me that. And that's what I'm doing. Because if you ain't got no charges, I'm gonna talk to you just like this. If you ain't got no charges, buddy, listen, me and you at war with each other, and that's how it is. You might as well get ready. Because we at war, buddy. You don't come out here playing with nobody and you ain't got no charges on a nigga. What world you live in? Or what world do you think I live in? Maybe you think you in the real world and I'm in some crazy world where you can play with me. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. That's why we at war right now. I'm all about the gun plug, man. You ask about me. I'm always trying to get the gun plug. You come in town and don't ask nothing about it. I'm always inquiring about the gun plug, buddy. You ask about me from San Francisco to LA, everywhere I go. Even back here in New York, ask about me, buddy. They know I always inquire about the gun plug. That's what I'm saying. And you could think it's cool for you to be playing with me, but until you got to take what come with it. Until you got to take the part that you don't want to come with it. That's what I'm saying. These suckers can play that part until you get the bad part. Like putting the grave part. Where some of these real niggas go to the grave. Oh yeah. I guess you didn't read the fine print. That coming out here in this street stuff, everybody don't make it. Some real niggas go to the grave all the time, bro. And guess what? They certified killers, they thugs, they triple OG, all that. And triple dead. Triple dead. Triple OG and triple dead. You can be the realest nigga out here and still be dead. And it ain't me that need to hear it, it's them. You need to hear that you can be the realest nigga alive and somebody put you right in the grave, buddy. Why would I need to hear that when I'm defending myself? I don't need to hear that. You think I need to hear that because I'm winning. Hey, you think I need to hear it because I'm winning? Hey, that's funny, ain't it? Oh, he winning, he need to realize he might can be defeated. Hey, he winning, he need to know he can lose. Yeah. You need to hear it because you out here playing in people's face like something can't happen to you. I don't need to hear that, buddy. Everybody can be touched. You know that's what black people say, right? That's how you know I'm a nigga, man. Everybody can be touched. Why don't they tell them that? These Freemasons and all these other niggas walk around doing that psychological stuff. That Harry Potter, you the black Harry Potter, ain't you? Won't you tell these black Harry Potters they can be touched, bruh? Won't y'all tell them that? They the ones need to hear it. I don't. I need to be told I can be touched. I'm the one telling you I'm willing to die for this. So how I need to be told? I'm considering death. They're not considering death. You respect the nigga that consider death. That's the nigga that get the pass. It's the nigga that act like he can't be killed that don't get the pass. The nigga that acknowledged that he can't be killed, ironically, he the one get the pass. So if you listen closely, I ain't never said, oh, I can't be killed. I can't be stopped. I said, I'm willing to die for this. And that's facts. You can tell how my life and how the moves I've made, how I live my life. You can tell I ain't scared to die. You can tell that. Well, as soon as I seen problems, I would have left. I stayed here for 5 months. I seen problems within a month's time. I seen a problem within a day's time. Not even the first week I already knew this was a setup. I stayed here intentionally, and now we won. So you gotta respect the person that stayed in their position. I stayed in my position. I stayed in this position on purpose, man. I knew these people was playing games in this building, man. I got intuition. I got street intuition. I knew they was playing games. It was too obvious. Too many telltale signs. So, man, look, I can't be your scapegoat. I'm too real of a nigga to be your scapegoat, buddy. What you gotta do is stop listening to the culture. Stop listening to these white folks. And since you already came out here in the streets, you need to go ahead and listen to these real niggas. Because when you sit down and talk to them, and y'all probably smoking weed, y'all probably be drinking, I'm just being realistic. When you sit down and smoke weed and talk to them, they're going to say, why y'all didn't stop though? He going to be real high, he going to keep saying it, right? But why y'all didn't stop, man? When he get real high, he going to be like, why y'all didn't stop though, bro? But everybody was telling y'all to stop though. Your own man's gonna tell you that. Why y'all didn't stop though, bro? Like, no, but nah, bro. But like, man, listen, man. Why is you even worried about somebody else like that? All this other stuff going on. Look at this Epstein files and all of this stuff. Man, this is the end of the world, man. These people, listen, your own homie will tell you, listen, man, these people, these crackers done everything you talking about, bro. Let me bring you to a nigga's world, buddy. They done raped us and molested our children. You don't think they did? In slavery, you don't think they had sex with our children? Oh, they just waited till the girl turned 18. When back in the day, they never really waited to 18. So the part that you leave out in the slave stories is the fact that the white man was having sex with them little black girls. Oh yeah, come on. Think about it. What you think them little girls was doing all day? Sitting around. They couldn't work. They were too young. So what they do with the young girls that couldn't work? While everybody else was in the field, what you think he was doing? Boom. That's it right there. That's 7 out. What you think he was doing? When everybody else was in the field and the little girls couldn't work. They couldn't work out in the sun. They couldn't. He might have had them doing some little helper stuff, maybe. Maybe he had doing some little helper stuff. But think about it though. What you think they was doing, them little girls? Man, ain't no telling what he was doing. But I know for sure, he ain't wait till them black girls turn 18 to have sex with him. Them crackers done everything to us. Let's talk about it. Our ancestors that had these kids, some of our ancestors were what, 15, 16, 14? We like to picture them as like about 35, don't we? Like our ancestor were having sex with the slave master about 35. Now imagine that, buddy. Imagine that. You know what he was doing? I'm gonna tell you what he was doing. He was having sex with them little girls. He was having sex with them little girls. Yeah, he was. Little black girls, voluptuous and untainted by white blood. So they look totally African, voluptuous, tall, and look like a little young woman. You don't think he did nothing to him? Oh, of course he did. We was always voluptuous people. Think about it. And you tell me we came straight from Africa and we wasn't voluptuous? Of course we was. Of course. He gonna get with one of them little girls that ain't had no man up in them. Come on, let's be a real man and talk about it for what it is. He gonna get one of them little girls that ain't had no man, that had no big old penis up in them from the Africans. He already done seen that. So he gonna get them girls before they get any of that. Think about it. Who he done had sex with, we look at the movies like it's them 35-year-old, she was 37, really. That's the one he got. That's the one he got, them 37-year-old girls. You know darn well, buddy. You know darn well. He ain't had nobody to answer to on top of that. Man, he was having sex with them little girls, bruh. You know he was. His logic is gonna be, I'm gonna have sex with them before they get any of that big old African penis. I can't do nothing with it. And once he get a hold of them, I can't do nothing with it. Yeah, he got one of them. He got them girls when they were young, 13, probably 13, maybe younger than that. Maybe younger than that. We'll never know, buddy. But I know they were kids. I know he was having sex with these kids. What you need to realize is, man, some people, man, I'm not one of them people, but it's almost like you're too good for the world that we live in. And this is why people will think you're retarded. And this might sound cruel for me to tell you this, but you need to hear it because maybe your mama didn't tell you. You see, your mama need to tell you the most cruelest thing so you can get past it. So you know her heart, you know your mom's heart is in the right place. So she's supposed to tell you the most cruel things. See, if you can't accept the real world for what it is, that's kind of a retarded type of person. Because the rest of us have to learn to deal with it. We have to learn that we would not want people to have sex with these children, right? But they do anyway. And guess what? The world goes on anyway. And you go on, and I go on. See, that's what your mom should have told you. Now you came out here like you was retarded, and you played yourself. Especially if you black. These crackers gonna do everything to us. They done everything to us. Your mama should have told you that before you came out here. Now I gotta tell you that. Your mama should have told you they do everything to us. Welcome to the real world, where they look right in your face after having sex with these children, and there ain't nothing we could do about it. It was a time where we couldn't do nothing about it. Talking about a pedophile, man, there was nothing we could do about it. They was piping our children down, and ain't nothing we could do. Can you imagine some women, white men having sex with their children? They couldn't do nothing about it. Knowing that's what's going on. And that might be after slavery. Oh, you don't think so? That could have been after slavery. They ain't the white folks ain't getting locked up for that. Directly after slavery, you getting locked up? Nope. They ain't getting locked up. They've been doing everything, little buddy. And and some of you are too good for the real world. You know why? Because your conscience can't accept it. Your conscience can't accept that these kids get raped, killed, everything, molested. They're getting killed right now. 7 months, years old, killed. And guess what? Your conscience, you can't live with it, can you? You can't live with it. You too good for the world, buddy. That's why they say the good always die young. You know why? You know why the good die young? Because of the evil that's coming into the world. They too good to see the evil. When I first heard that term, I never understood it until I got older. Because at first you think, well, why the good would die young? That person should live. That person should live. Why the good die young? He's a good guy. She's a good girl, a good female, a good woman, a good lady. Why should she die? Because the philosophy is you're being kept from all the evil we gotta see like now. Like all this evil, all this stuff going on, all this crazy stuff going on. See, we feel the philosophy is you died because you was kept from it. So you wouldn't have to see all this stuff we going through. Like the pox in the big, some people say they died so they wouldn't have to see all of this. Because a person like Tupac wouldn't even know what to do about gang stalking. He would hate these people. Now you got all these present-day rappers ain't saying nothing. Pac couldn't see this and be silent and not say nothing. Black people playing with me and I ain't doing nothing to them. Snoop can sit around and not say nothing about it. See, so Pac is a perfect example. All the stuff going on in our community, in the black community, Tupac couldn't have been here and seen all of this, how black people acting crazy and everything like that. So, you know what I mean? So some people think the good are kept from seeing it. They kept from seeing how bad we gonna become with time. Like they don't need to see it. They too good to see this. They too good. Their heart is too good and they too good to see all what we become and all the stuff we doing. 7-month-old baby getting shot in Brooklyn. They too good to see this stuff. So the saying is the good die young. You know, I say, well, you know, some people are too good for our world. They too good. But it's a certain type that's a retarded type. Like, you can't accept the world we live in. So once you find out what it's really like, you become depressed. You can't survive. You can't live because you've been exposed to the real world where all this stuff happens. See, the only people that's running around like on the vigilante stuff is the people that haven't come to terms to the real world. You see what I'm saying? It's not that we're not heroes. It's like we live like in the real world, like how you gotta really do it. But you go with the fake world that America presented to you, that like we protect children, we help children, but then you find out we marrying children. Now you don't know what to do with yourself. You see what I'm saying? You see, I'm built to talk about it without having stress, heart attacks. I didn't lose my mind. I sat down and talked about child marriage laws. And see, I'm the type of person that's supposed to live because I can deal with it. I know how to deal with it. I expose it. You the type of person that live in a fake world. You thought we was, see what I'm saying? And then when you come to terms with it, you don't know what to do. When you realize it, you don't know what to do. Your type of person don't supposed to be out here. So you might be a superhero and you don't supposed to be out here, bro. Because it don't make sense, because it's so much going on. You can't come out here, so to speak. You gotta start with these laws, like I'm doing. You gotta start with child marriage in America. You can't come out here on the streets. You can't get mad at the streets. You gotta start with your laws. And you didn't do that. You try to come out to the streets because you thought the white man was doing what he was supposed to do and he wasn't. That's what I'm trying to show you. You try to come out here on me and it wasn't and you still got child marriage in America. See, now if you was built like me, you would have confronted the child molestation by marriage. And you didn't do that. So see, you latched on to America that you were made to believe in, that we protect children, we care about the well-being of children. All these commercials, it's all fake. Even these YouTube commercials and stuff talking about if you was molested when you was a kid, or man, won't you start with the child marriage laws? Marrying children in America, you wasting time. All these random people, you could be using your platform. That's real though. You could be using your platform to attack child marriage that's happening legally by law. You got people that start whole movements talking about advocating against random cases, but you have laws to marry children, which is the same detail in those cases. It's like putting the cart before the horse and making the cart try to drag the horse. The cart is not going to drag the horse. You need to get the laws first. You need to get the laws first of marrying children. But you'll have people that sit up here and they look like they're doing a good cause. And them type of people, man, I have to feel like they a certain type of retarded. And you thought it was me, but it's you. Like I like to say when it fits. You thought it was me, but it's you. Man, listen, bro. How you talking about if it's never too late to turn to there's no date on child sexual abuse, but there's no date on those child marriage cases where kids are married. It's no date on the abuse in that. Where we can talk about it in New York, where they used to have child marriage laws in New York in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, in the 90s. They was marrying children right here in New York. You see how a real man sounds? He's going to attack the environment first. Not pluck this guy over here and pluck this guy over there. I'm going to change the environment, and then anybody who violates the environment, then we do something about that. That's 7 out. But if I don't change the environment, that guy is going to say, hey, hold up. I'm a part of the environment. Boy, that's it right there. I'm a part of the environment. Whether you like, ain't they marrying children over here? Oh, ain't they having sex with children over there? Well, basically, that's the same details, right? Well, I'm part of the culture of your community, the mentality of your community. The only difference is I'm not marrying a child. But I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same details. So until you change the environment, it doesn't make sense to come to a random person like me. Now, when you change your environment, you clean up your environment, then you can say, oh, it's some dirt over here. Some dirt over there. But if I don't clean up my environment, it's dirty all over here and child marriage everywhere, but I'm trying to go over here with this one guy. Nah, buddy. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. That's what you've been doing. Because you ain't got the courage to confront America. And that's what make me say, you're not about this life. You're not built to do it. I'm built to do it. I did it. What you tried to do, I did it. You tried to call yourself protecting children. You call yourself doing that. Man, I came out here and talked about child marriage. I emailed the White House. I emailed the governors, the mayors, and the school system. And I got money for it. I got money from it. Did you hear what I said? I got money. I left my Cash App with the information and got money for just the information. That's what level I'm on. I've been talking about this for real. And I got paid for it. Now what you doing? Out here accusing innocent people. You see the problem? I done got paid for real information. That's how you go about it. You don't try to you don't try to come out here on this one person in the whole country doing what they doing. You clean up the environment first. And so this person cannot have an excuse, and he understands that his country is not doing these things. I don't understand that your country is not doing these things. When you got child marriage laws in this country, your country is doing the same thing. So then your first priority is to, when you're an advocate for children well-being, I'm trying to show you how to do it. You attack the laws first. You make sure that's good. You make sure that this person don't got rights to do this. This person might have rights to do it and you don't know no better. Like in the case of child marriage. Okay, you can see a guy kissing a child in a child marriage in public. You can't stop him from doing that. He gonna say, I'm married to this child. If you see him in public, he can say, I'm married to this child. What are you talking about? You can't do nothing about it. No, you can't. So then it only makes sense when that's the case. You can't attack that guy. That's not going to do anything. There's going to be another guy doing the same thing across town, in another town, in another city, in another state, in another place, in another state. 34 states. It's going to be other guys doing things in 33 other states besides the one you seen that other guy in. Right? So how are you doing anything? You're not doing anything. You might as well use your voice, like I did, to talk about child marriage laws in the United States of America. That's what you're supposed to do. Because it's too much of a contradiction for y'all to come out here. Otherwise, it don't make no sense to me. Now, if you know your country marrying children, there ain't no. Why would I come out here? That ain't where I start. I start by cleaning up the environment to stop people from doing this. If I go out here, it's not going to stop it. When I go to the laws, I could possibly stop a big issue, the worst issue, which is people have legal right to do this. I'm going to go there first. But see, that's how I'm built. You built like, okay, you'll say something about some random person. That's how you built. I'm going to do it for real, where I feel like, okay, this is the source right here. Right? Where make people, which will make other people feel, because if you don't get rid of that, other people going to still feel like, well, America's marrying children. I still feel like I could do that. I don't want to marry a child, but I still share the same sexual desire for children. Okay, so I'm just not going to marry a child, but I'm just going to do what I want to do, basically. But I know my country is doing the same thing. I know my country is doing the same thing, so, I feel justified. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. So, see, that's why you have to make sure, you have to make sure you know what you're doing. You should have never listened to no white folks. Now you get it. You listen to a black man that tells you, see, all we had to do was get into politics, and we ain't gonna be okey-doke. We ain't gonna be no okey-doke people about nothing. I'm gonna pick out the right, proper information for you to know how to move out here. I ain't gonna have you out here okey-doke like these white boys. Talking about child molesters, but marrying children over here. That's the okey-doke community. A nigga gonna tell you, oh, they marrying children. They marrying children. We can't do nothing until they stop marrying these children. A white boy he's gonna be completely oblivious. He think he's a patriot. He think his country is a patriot. That we love children. We just love America. We love children in America. We just love everybody. just love everybody. You just love everybody, don't you? Uh-huh. You love them so much you want to marry the children, don't you? You love the children so much you want to marry them. You know what? I tell people, you know, I ain't never had a thought of marrying no child. I'm just keeping it real. I ain't never thought about marrying no child, buddy. While you questioning everybody's thoughts, you know what thought I ain't never had? I ain't never had no thought about marrying no children. That's what I'm saying. You up thinking about marrying children, little buddy. Little buddy. Little buddy. You thinking about marrying children, ain't you, little buddy? Hey, man, listen. You tell me what's going on. You tell me what's going on. And don't you feel like that's a race war against a black man? Where they can run me around like an animal, but then they marrying children and nobody saying nothing about it. Even black people ain't acting like it's a problem. That's all I'm saying, man. That's a race war. That is. Because it's a race war in the sense that the white man can marry children and molest them by law, but the black man is a monkey nigga on the run. He a monkey nigga on the run, and we don't even know, and we gonna get this monkey nigga pedophile. I bet some of them white boys talk like that, huh? We gonna get this monkey nigga pedophile. I bet they done said that, haven't they? We gonna get this monkey nigga pedophile. But y'all marrying children. You see why I say that's a race war, right? You gotta be smart to understand why. Because I'm held to a different standard than the crackers that's over here running around. That's what I'm saying. And we know what I'm talking about. What we talk about is they having sex with the children by law. And nobody will act like they understand this. How you need to understand it is this. It's the same details. It's the same details in a child marriage that is in child molestation cases. The child molestation cases consist of an adult with a child. Okay, that's the details. In child molestation cases, it's an adult with a child sexually, right? Okay, in a child marriage, the same details are an adult with a child sexually, right? It's the same details. It's the same details. But the white man get to do this through a child marriage, but then assassinate the character of Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. Who's the newcomer? Oh, Diddy. Man, surprised he got away without being considered a child molester. Surprised he got out of that. They always trying to throw that at us, and now you should be mad because the whole time they was marrying children. So now you see. You've been living a lie the whole darn time. And that wouldn't make you feel like it's a race war. Yes, it make me feel like it's a race war. That's how you know I think like a black man. A black man ain't gonna look at this any other way. If you playing with his credibility, then we find out you're doing the exact same thing by law. Not by law now. Not just, oh, it's some white dudes over there just doing something with kids. No, not that. They been doing that. They doing it by law. That's worse. But because they should know this. They should know what their country is really doing. And you should know what your country is really doing. But I know that some of these crackers do know what their country is doing. And that makes it a race war. When you know what your country is doing and you still playing with me, that's a race war, buddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I call it just like that. Just playing no games, no bit of darn games. Don't care what you talk about, what group you in, or none of that. It's a race war. And guess what? They got some niggas over there on these cracker side. So that's how you get confused. Oh, no, well, and during the Civil War, the Confederates had niggas too. That's something you realize when you get older. Well, in the Civil War, you had the Yankees, you had the Union, you had the Union, and you had the Confederates, right? You had the Confederate Army, then you had the Union Army. Okay, the Confederate Army that was against slavery and all of that, I mean, for slavery and all of that, and the Union was against slavery, the Confederates had black people over there fighting for them, with them, by their side. And don't you know them? Don't some of them people take pride into them black people and their family take pride in the position that they ancestors fought in the Confederate Army as black people? It's a strange world, buddy. Because I can show you some black people that their grandfathers fought, black people fought on the side of the Confederates, and they take pride in that. They take pride in it. Got his uniform, got his clothes, got his guns, and the flag, Confederate flags, all that. Oh, it's families, black families like that. And this time is no different. The Second Civil War, you had niggas on the white man's side. You had niggas on the white man's side, yes sir. See, when you're smart, you realize that you're gonna have straight up racist people that got niggas on their side. I call them hounds. They like hounds, they hound you, cause see, they gotta camouflage themselves in the hood. And the crackers can't walk all around here. And they scared you anyway. They gonna have niggas that work for them. I call them hounds. I already did a whole video about it. They gonna have black people that work for crackers. Okay? It might be heartbreaking to you, but welcome to the real world. See, that part right there, some of y'all ain't updated on. You ain't updated on that. You're not aware that these crackers gonna use black people. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, how they gonna come down here on you? How white people gonna ascend down on you in the hood? They scared to come over here. So what they gonna do? They gonna use niggas all around us. Common sense. They always gonna work like that. This is a race war. That's what it is. And you thought we was past racism until now. Because when you see your black man ain't doing nothing and they still playing with him, what you think that's gonna escalate to? Goofy time, gay goofy, Lady Gaga poker face time? These gay people think we in Lady Gaga time in 2009. Lady Gaga time in 2009. We gonna just go over here and play with this guy that say he a pedophile. Like you in Lady Gaga 2009 time, dancing around. This gay time is gone, bruh. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Gay time is gone. It's wartime. You realize that? I don't know what all these gay people gonna do. Because when the war break out, what you gonna do? It ain't gonna be no more dancing around to Lady Gaga. Ain't gonna be no more of that. That time is gone. Lady Gaga done came out as schizophrenic, ain't she? I'm serious. She done came out as schizophrenic. Listen, I'm not demonizing. I'm showing you times have changed and things have changed. The innocence of the time when we just thought whatever we thought about Lady Gaga, she came out as schizophrenic. So you can't go back. You can't unhear that kind of information. So now we're in a less innocent time. Even with that being said, now you realize Lady Gaga is diagnosed. She said it was because of her career, which means she feels like her mind, during all that time when she was putting that music out, she said herself that she feels her mind, that affected her mind, which it means it's not the same time now, doesn't it? It's not the same time when somebody said their mind was affected by what they were doing, right? She's not the same person. Times have changed. She said it herself. You can go look up. She said she feel like some of that stuff brought on schizophrenic traits and characteristics. Doing all those different personalities and all that stuff. That's what she said. That's what she said out of her own mouth. I just quote people, man. That's it. The bottom line is this, man. It's wartime. And people choosing their sides. And the truth is, it's all going to boil down. Every river is going to go to the ocean. 2 oceans. All rivers is going to 2 oceans. All the rivers is going to 2 oceans. You know what 2 oceans they going to? Good and evil. So all these people, the lines, the wars, the lines are being drawn in the sand, and The sides are being made. Good and evil. That's all it is. And that's how you can see how people move, and that's what they're gonna do. And you know when they over there, you can't even trust them. That's what we're doing. That's what's going on right now. The clouds is gathering in the sky, and the storm is about to come. The war between good and evil is about to happen. That's all it is. And if you're confused, if you're a little confused little guy or a confused little girl, you're gonna be, you're gonna be trying to hold on. It's gonna be so sad. People gonna be trying to hold on what America used to be able to do. What America used to be able to do for them, and how America used to be able to protect them. And they ain't gonna have nowhere to run and nothing to protect them. It's gonna be so sad. Especially if your heart is trusting in these people. They can't stop evil. They can't stop Satan. Satan is coming. Okay? We talk about the second coming of Jesus, and that's what we do need to talk about. We also need to talk about Satan. Satan coming against America. He coming, buddy. He's already here. And ain't nothing Trump can do, ain't nothing military can do about Satan and his kingdom. Ain't nothing you can do. And see, this is what witches and warlocks realize. It ain't good following Satan. Oh, this is where you realize it. Because he started affecting your day. He started affecting stuff in your finances. You don't get none of that stuff you used to get no more. You don't get no more food stamps, no more cash assistance. All of that's gonna be gone. And now you don't think it's cool to serve Satan. Oh, you'll see. You're gonna realize it ain't cool to serve Satan, buddy. He coming for America, and that's facts. Satan don't have no friends, buddy. Satan coming to America, and you listen, buddy, and ain't nothing Trump can do about it. Ain't nothing Trump can do. Trump can't do a darn thing about Satan coming to America. He already know that. He already know his I know he can feel his limitations. I'm pretty sure. You see what needs to be done, you see all this stuff need to be done, and you realize you one man. You can't do it all. Nobody can. But everybody expect you to. Everybody trying to believe in you and expect you to do certain things, and you can't do it. Trump can't do it all. Trump can't do it all, man. So y'all gotta get ready to accept, that Satan is gonna come to this country with his spirits. He already here, but it's gonna be just an onslaught, man, because God is not. These people do not love God, so then Satan can just come in and destroy everybody when they don't serve God and don't love God. Okay, that's just how it is. So this is the part that the witches don't want. This is the part the warlocks don't want. You gotta take every part of it. You want to be evil, you gotta take every part of it. Satan comes in, he destroys everything. Nobody don't want that part, but that's the part that's coming. That's the part that's coming, though. That's the part that's coming. It ain't cool to serve Satan when everything getting destroyed. Yeah, it ain't cool to serve Satan when these kids being killed out here. It ain't cool to serve Satan when these 7-month-old children being killed. That's all the works of Satan. See, they don't want that part. No, you don't like that part. But that's how it is. That's the part you got to take that comes with it. You can't come out here and think you're going to do evil like some little glitzy or Ozzy Osbourne spinoff kind of person. That's the kind of people they are. You want to be Marilyn Manson meets Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne meets Marilyn Manson. That's who people think they are, man. And then until you get the other part where these 7-month-old kids being killed. Babies, not kids, babies. That's a 7-month-old baby dead. See, that's the part of evil that you don't want to take that comes with it. That's how it is. You can't come out here and do evil and then think it's going to be some glitzy Ozzy Osbourne like party. I expect grown men and grown women, I don't care if they witches or warlocks or whatever, I expect grown men to understand these things. You can't come, that's only a child gonna think they can come out here and play with witchcraft and do evil and everything and ain't nothing gonna happen. This is why people are blaming you, because rather than blaming me, they're gonna think about all the witchcraft you done throw it around. That energy gotta go somewhere. It's gonna come back into the community. It's gonna cause havoc. It's gonna cause evil and havoc in the community. That's common sense. It's not gonna hit me. It's gonna hit the community, and you're gonna have more stuff like this happening. That's just what it is, man. That's just the truth. That's the reality. You can't use witchcraft like gangbangers, like you a thug. You know that, and that's what this generation want to do. They call themselves using witchcraft like gangbangers. An old witch gonna tell you all that energy got to come back. You can't put that out there and then see that. So it's a difference in generations of witchcraft too, because an old witch ain't gonna do it. Old witch see me and I'm a prophet. I'm talking like this. An old witch say I don't want nothing to do with that. Nope. I bet she done told you too. If she seen anything about me and how I am and how I carry myself, I guarantee you she said she don't want nothing to do with it. Especially when she hear me talk about God and how I talk about God from my heart. She gonna say, I don't want nothing to do with that. I guarantee you. You know why? Because she know the rules and regulations that can't no witch or warlock break. You can't break these rules. You come out here and you put witchcraft on a good person, on a prophet, it's coming back double fold. It's not gonna hit me, sucker. You Ozzy Osbourne wannabe. That's not gonna hit me. That's gonna hit your community. And therefore, everybody's gonna blame you. That's facts. You can't put no witchcraft on no prophet. You crazy. All that's gonna do is come back on your community and family. That's what happened. Ain't no witch I know. The more experience they got, they gonna tell you just like I'm telling you, and you're not gonna be satisfied because you're gonna wanna do something to somebody that you can't do nothing to, and you can't accept that. That's what's gonna happen. Some people you can't do nothing to them, buddy. You know what it's called? The food chain. If you're dealing with a tiger and you listen, you can't do nothing with me. I'm a tiger. I'm a beast. Ain't nothing you can do. And there's some white people and black people that's not satisfied with that answer. You're not satisfied with that reality, are you? And so you break rules. You break rules that older witches wouldn't break. An old witch know better. She know I'm a prophet, and she hear me say I'm a prophet. Oh no, I'm not touching that. No sir. A witch gonna say you crazy. Nope, not me. Not me. I'm not even. He could be lying, and I'm not even taking a chance. I'm not even taking a chance. See, it's a different mentality that comes from that whole culture. The culture doing that to you. It's even affecting these witchcraft people. Yes, it is. They the ones that the culture is the one got them out here like that. Like they hard. Like you using witchcraft like you Tupac. Like you the witchcraft Tupac. I guarantee you somebody out there think they the witchcraft Tupac. The witchcraft Snoop Dogg. You can find every character. Snoop Dogg, witchcraft Ice Cube. Dude look like Ice Cube. Think he a witchcraft dude. Got a beard like Ice Cube. Got a haircut like Ice Cube. He think he a witchcraft Ice Cube. He the witchcraft Ice Cube, ain't he? Everybody tell him that, huh? He the witchcraft Ice Cube. You got the witchcraft Madonna. You got them too. You got the witchcraft Cher. You got everybody. I know somebody out there that's used witchcraft look like them people. You look like Cher. Everybody tells me that. You look like Madonna. And it puts a battery in their back, man. Even if they look like them or they don't, they get a battery in their back, man. I'm telling you, from this culture. That's what it is. And the old witch gonna tell you, I wouldn't have done it. No. If this person, I'm gonna lay it all out in a matter of minutes. A witch gonna say, you heard this information from his brother. Okay, first of all, why couldn't his brother handle this situation? A witch gonna show more wisdom to you. Why couldn't his brother confront his own brother? That's number one. That's the number one red flag right there. Why couldn't his brother be just confront his own brother? I mean, he had access to his brother. He was right there. Why couldn't he talk to him? Not built like that, bruh. He not built like that. Okay, that's number one. That's the number one foundation that people gonna have a problem with. Strategists, all military witches and everything. Why couldn't his own brother confront him? The last time he seen his brother was in 2017. This has been going on way before 2017. Why couldn't he confront his own brother? Why he got to use all of us and his brother had access to him? His own brother had access to him. Make it make sense. Where all of us got to do this and his brother was right there with him. Make it make sense. Because he not built like that, man. Grown man and not built like that. Number two, if you couldn't prove what he was talking about, then you know you really don't know what happened. You really don't know. No, you really don't. And you can be arrogant, but you're going by what you've been told. And your reading is not going to be as pure as you think it's going to be because it's already tainted by what you've been told. It's too tainted. That's the bad part about somebody telling you a lie. Okay? Or telling you, I don't know what all you've been told. But when you're told something that's not the reason or not the truth, and it's some way twisted, you ain't gonna be able to see me as an innocent person. It's gonna be the hardest thing you can do. You know what's the hardest thing you can do in spirituality? If I tell you something about somebody, but it's not the truth, but I gotta be around this person, and I gotta see past that, and have the discipline to not think about that. That's gonna be the hardest part. How can you not think about it? That's how bad it is. And I can laugh at it now, but it's not a laughing matter. Once somebody put that out there, how you gonna believe? It's gonna be the hardest thing for you to just sit back and let me be who I am. That's gonna be the hardest thing for you to do. Which means your reading is gonna be tainted. It's always gonna be tainted. You always gonna lean to trying to see that. That's what's gonna be the problem. Okay? A witch is gonna say, y'all been playing around this person for years and years. Okay, did y'all see him do anything? Y'all didn't see him do anything to anybody. Okay, so then y'all ain't got no charges on this person. Okay, so then so all you got is hearsay. That's all you got. All you got is hearsay from his brother, right? Now he's saying that his brother is mad about a woman, which makes sense for a black boy, because let's keep it real. They love women, right? Okay, so to me, for him to tell me it's about a woman, that is totally believable. That's absolutely believable. That makes more sense than anything else. That makes more sense in the world we live in. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, that other stuff you telling me, see how spaced out that is? See what I'm saying? Now, what the other brother is saying is real life. What the other brother is saying is real life. That other stuff is spaced out. See what I'm saying? Now, if you wise and you smart, you realize it. Okay, that's spaced out right there. That's real life. He said it's about a woman. I believe that. A man invests all his heart into a woman and love a woman, and then she wind up liking your brother to whatever degree. I believe it. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking for your woman to like your brother and show lust to your brother, to show lust towards your brother. That's heartbreaking. That's hard. And so what he did was he came out here based on that. So you got used. That's what a witch gonna tell you. No, you got used. Don't you see? You got used. Yes, you did. You got used and utilized for him to get back at his brother. That's what happened to you. Now, you want me to get involved and just work some Ozzy Osbourne bull crap, witchcraft to continue this foolishness that came from his brother. And I'm not going to do it. Okay? I know the real world we live in. This is what a witch gonna tell you. I know the real world we live in. That's about a woman. That's all that is. And now you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose. See, that's your own issue. That's your own hang up. You don't want to lose, and because you're a dinky American and you think in terms of everything as a game. You already lost. You got played. That's how you already lost. You already lost. You got utilized for a boy that was mad about a girl. And listen, you're not going to change that narrative. I don't care what you're doing. You're not going to change it. So you're either going to be a man or a boy about this. You understand? You're not going to change the narrative. You should be grateful that you even know what really happened. You could have never known. You could have never known what happened. You should be so grateful that this man is even taking the time to tell you what happened. You could never know you could have never knew what happened. You could have been thinking it's all about this and died like that. And we all died like this. You would have never knew. You are so fortunate that this man is even telling you what happened. The real reason you out here is because of a woman. I can show you with time. I can show you with time, with history, how many times men have died for women. Over and over again. A witch will probably even tell you this part. Over and over again, men have died with crimes of passion. As a result of crimes of passion, they've done crazy things. As a result of crimes of passion. And this situation is a crime of passion. All he did was utilize you to do his crime. See, I'm just as smart as he is. After all, that's my brother. I'm just as smart, if not smarter than him. This ain't nothing but a crime of passion you got utilized by my brother. He knew I moved around a lot, so how he was gonna get me? He used all these people that could track me. That's what he did. And look, if you don't come to terms with that, listen, like I said, I don't know nobody who willingly go down the wrong road. After a long, long road, somebody tell you, but the reason why you go down the long, long road after you've been told the truth is because you don't want to turn around and do a U-turn in this whole different direction. Because you look bad, everybody look bad, you just want to die, and that's not my hang-ups. I'm just here to show you what happened. It's that simple. Right? And so, count your lucky stars that you even know what happened. After all the foolishness that you've heard. This was all about a woman, buddy. And that narrative fits. You got to remember how immature this person is. My brother was diagnosed as schizophrenic, paranoid. Did you know that? Okay, so you gonna believe everything that come out of his mouth? I don't care what it is. He was diagnosed. My mom told me. He was diagnosed as schizophrenic. You know how sick that is? Yeah, that part. That's not bipolar. That's pretty sick, buddy. And so I don't even know what you've been told. I don't know all you've been told. All I know is what the real problem is. The real problem is this schizophrenic person found out that his wife was attracted to me. Okay? That's what happened. Okay? You can't accept it? I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you, buddy. Don't know. But God, here's the part that you need to be concerned about. God is not gonna let you play. God is not gonna let you play with me any longer. Okay? A witch would have not involved herself. A witch would have. I'm showing you even what your side would have done. Once she realized that, and it was about a woman, and this dude is a prophet. What are you asking for? Death on a stick? You want death on a stick, buddy? You got it. Coming right on up. Coming right up, buddy. Just like in New York, you get an order. Coming right up. You in New York, you know in New York all around here. Coming right up, buddy. You want death on a stick? Coming right on up, buddy. You want death on a stick? Coming right up, buddy. I don't know what you was thinking, man. All I know is a witch wouldn't do it. A seasoned, real high-ranking witch? Nope. It's suicide. It's absolute suicide, based on the circumstances of what it was about, and then just off just for it being about a woman, even an evil person will be disgusted. You did all this for a woman? All these women out here. That's pathetic. It's pathetic, and you're not going to change that narrative. You out here pathetic as he is, and I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. You're not going to change this narrative of what this is about. That's what I'm trying to put in your head, buddy. I'm trying to put it in your head. You're not going to change this narrative. Okay? It don't matter if I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you're not going to change this narrative. Okay? And you know, God is not letting you do it any further. I'm telling you, I'm a real spiritual person. I get manifestations. I just showed you, and I say respectfully, I just fasted against Pam Bondi, and she's gone. I fasted against Christy Noam, and she's gone. I fasted against Jesse Jackson, and he's gone. And I'm saying this so you can see it is not no plaything. This is not no thing to play with. And if it becomes a me and you situation, you gonna die. I'm a prophet that does not play no games. You will go to the grave, and I won't even have to touch you. I fasted against Jesse Jackson. He was gone less than a month. Whether he had an ongoing sickness. Was he given a month to live? Okay, so he wasn't given a month to live. So if he was given that time frame, then you could say, well, he was given a month to live when that happened. You see my logic, right? So my point is, he could have lived longer or he could have lived shorter. We don't really know. But all we know is in the same time frame of this prophet fasting, and then he dies a month later. Because this is why these things happen. Because after African American community attacked me, like collectively, I have the right to attack you collectively. This is how turned the war is. I had the right to attack you collectively. Okay? You don't get to attack me and I just sit back and say, well, you know, no, you attack me as a community. I attack you as a community by attacking the structure of your community, which is the milestones and the people that you love the most. It's not nothing personal. It's people are victims of circumstance. You just at the wrong place in history and time. And it happened. You can see that through history and time as well. People just at the wrong place at the wrong time in history. And that's where they are. It's nothing personal. It's not personal because I don't personally know these people. If you attack me as a collective community, I'm going to hit what you love. I'm going to hit the people you love. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's why you don't make war with nobody. Excuse me. You don't make war with nobody like me. You don't do it. And now I'm showing you that. You don't make war with nobody like me, buddy. Because I'm gonna attack your structure of your community. I'm gonna attack. Now I ain't gonna just attack black people like collectively, just randomly. I'm gonna attack the people you love the most in that community. That's what I'm supposed to do. This is how bad this is. That's why I'm trying to show you. You don't play with me like this is World Star, and this is like you trying to get street justice playing with me because of something you heard, some ignorance you heard that you couldn't even tell me to my face. Nobody never even come to me and tell me nothing to my face. Imagine that, man. Imagine me respecting them, and they ain't never came to me in my face and told me what it was. Well, I would have the right to defend myself against some information. I don't even know what it is. You see what I'm talking about? But I'm telling you everything, what it really is, what I really know. What I really know what it's about. Because other people in my family was telling me that my brother, basically he told the family I slept with his wife. I had sex with his wife. So how you gonna tell me it's not about that? This is no deception. Okay, if I hear that in the family, then whatever it is with him is that. It's common sense. And ain't nothing else you can tell me is more powerful than that, because me and him been cool this whole time. So what was it recently? It had to be his wife. If you've been cool with your brother your whole life, let's talk about that part. Y'all, no matter what he's trying to tell you, it's going to be all Jedi mind tricks. You cool with your brother this whole time. Well, he bought you a car. My brother bought me a car. You telling me he ain't cool with me? He bought me a car, bro. My brother brought me a Cadillac. Right? You telling me he wasn't cool with me? He brought me a car. You telling me he wasn't cool with me and he brought my son clothes when my son was born, like a baby shower clothes. You telling me he wasn't cool with me? He brought my son clothes. Come on, man. So then what happened then if he was that cool to buy you a car and all of that? That's what people gonna ask. His wife. That's the only thing that makes sense. Other than that, he's been cool with me my whole life. That part, cool enough to buy me a car. Cool enough to buy my son clothes. So you know I got a son. He acknowledged that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about, right? That's all I'm saying, bro. Yeah, see what I'm saying? He done bought your son clothes. So this dude knew you was a father. This dude acknowledged that you was a father. I'm talking to black people. He acknowledged that you was a father. That don't change things for you if he acknowledged that I was a father. By buying my son clothes, buying me a Cadillac, that don't change things to you. That don't change things to you. If he acknowledged my son and bought my son clothes and bought me a car, that don't change things. And that's how we know if we're dealing with boys or girls and men and women. Because you tell me he bought your son clothes and he acknowledged your son being born. He bought you a car. Oh, nah, y'all was cool. So then what happened? His wife was attracted to me in front of him. In front of him. She was attracted to me in front of him. He caught wind of it and went and told the family I had sex with her. Because she was attracted to me, he gonna go tell people I had sex with her. No, I had sex with her. And that's what this is all about, buddy. This is why I don't make mistakes that you make as niggas. Niggas make mistakes coming out here playing around. I don't make those mistakes. You come out here playing around people and playing around their life, it don't matter what the other stuff was. He bought his son clothes. He bought this dude a car. I don't want to know nothing else. That tells me he was good. That's all I'm talking about. That tells me how he felt about the situation or whatever happened to him. We gauge it based on your interaction with this person. You still buying his son clothes, you still buy him a car, okay, boom. I'm not trying to mess with that relationship at that point. So what happened after that? Because y'all grown men at this point, so we ain't talking about nothing else. Okay, so what happened? Oh, he telling me that your wife was attracted to him? Oh, that's what happened, buddy. Now we find out the truth. You did all of this because your wife was attracted to your brother. You thought they was having sex. You went and told your family that your brother was having sex with your wife. But you made us believe you had a problem with him for some other reasons. No, you came out here like a sucker because of a woman. And we don't want to hear nothing else, because this is the reason why. We don't want to hear nothing else. Because you brought your brother a car, didn't you? Okay, you acknowledged that your brother had a son, didn't you? You bought his son clothes, right? We don't want to hear nothing else then. You see what I'm saying? That tells us everything we need to know. No, buddy. You showed where your heart was at right there. You brought his son clothes when his son was born, right? You acknowledged this man as a father and then turn around talking about something else. You brought this man a car on his birthday, right? But then you turn around and talk about something else. Nah. I believe his narrative that you got mad about your wife because his family told him that it was a rumor in the family that he slept with your wife. So how is it not about that and the family know? That's all it's about. So because you sent us through all of this, you are worthy of destruction. Because one thing we cannot stomach is to do all of this for a woman. That's one thing a man can't stand. Especially a man of my age. Because we know how whorish and how much of a whore these women can be. Most of them are whores. They can't even be attracted to just one man. They got to be attracted to more than one man. Most of these women are whores. Welcome to the real world, where most of these women are attracted to more than one man. And sometimes they're attracted to women too. And because of this, we're going to hold that into our perspective of this situation. Women are nothing in America but whores. Most of them are whores. Let's call it how it is. Most of them are whores. They're attracted to men and women. And they can't be attracted to one man. And you tell me you gonna come out here for one of them? That's why we act like we do. It's because of how they act. It's because of their quality that they choose to be. They choose to be low quality. That's why we treat them like they do. That's why men treat them in America like they do. Because they're whores. Most of them are whores. Okay? Undercover whores. They have attraction to other people. That's a whore. A whore has attraction to many people. A pimp just take advantage of it. And she becomes a whore. Okay? We as men cannot stomach that you would come out here for a whore that was attracted to your brother. I don't care how bad it hurt. It should have hurt so bad that you divorced her. That's what you should have did. You should have took all that energy and divorced her immediately. You didn't do that. You had a kid with her after she was attracted to your brother. You went and had a kid after that, as if to prove something to, I guess, your wife, your ex-wife, or your brother. You didn't prove anything. You proved you was a sucker. You should have divorced her instantly when she did that. When you knew she was attracted to your brother, you should have divorced her. That's how you should have channeled all your anger and hate and pain. You should have divorced her. You didn't have the manhood, let's be honest. Because if you went back in time, that's what you would have done. I guarantee you that's what you would have said you would have done. Let's keep it 100. You didn't have the manhood at the time when you needed it. You got married and didn't have no manhood. You could have been a provider, all that stuff, but you didn't have manhood in other areas. And this is why this happened to you. You didn't have manhood. When she was attracted to your brother, you should have let her go. You should have let her go right then. I don't care if you didn't have a relationship with your brother or not, because you couldn't stand the whole situation or what. But that could have been the case, but not attack him directly like that. You should have divorced her, and if you didn't want to have a relationship with your brother after that, well, that's life. But you don't make him pay for what she's done. That's what we're talking about. You shouldn't make, no, you divorce her, and if you feeling some type of way about your brother, you should have just stepped away. and do what men do. Let these hoes take the blame that they deserve to take. Don't make, look at that. Don't make no nigga pay for what a hoe did. You made us all pay at the streets and everything. You made us all these niggas pay for what a hoe did. And it just sounds like just how it is. Everybody gotta suffer because of some hoe. That sounds like reality to me, buddy. That narrative sounds real right there. All that other stuff, man, it don't even match, man. It don't sound right, no. Man, you was out here about a hoe. And we can't stomach that. Nah. I'm sorry, man. It could have been any other thing, man. But a hoe, a female. And then she was attracted to your brother. It wasn't like he did nothing with her. It wasn't like he was attracted to her. She was just attracted to him. Listen, bro, you assume too much. You made him pay for it. You act like he was attracted to her. You had no signs of that. You ain't had no signs of him being attracted to her. Only her being attracted to him. That's all you had for sure. You did have that for sure, but you wasn't disciplined enough to just keep it right there. That's all you had. That's all that was real, is that she was attracted to him. That's all it was. But you added to it and act like he loved you, like he was with your sister, your wife, his sister-in-law. Nah, bro, nah. You was a sucker about it, and listen, people can't stand to see you live after something like that. It's because it's about a woman. That's why. A woman? Nah. Because most men, it's not that we hate women, but it's a certain type of women. If they a hoe, man, we can't do nothing for them. And we darn sure ain't gonna come out here and try to defend them, especially against your own brother. That's a sucker. If listen, man, ain't no other way to put it. That's a sucker. I put that on my reputation. That's a sucker. Man, you came out here for a female, bro. That's basic. That's definitely what it is. Well, how's a rumor in the family that I slept with your wife? How's a rumor in the family where people think I slept with you? Where'd that come from then? They ain't got nothing to do with this. That doesn't influence whatever you talking about. Of course it does. It's the whole reason. It's not the influence, it's the reason. It's the reason. And y'all just want to see a show and you can't accept that you're wrong. Man, listen. You listen, I can't help you. I can't help you. You should have came to me before you got started. That's how I look at it. You should have came to me before you got started.